A gorgeous day for football here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Fort Valley State University. Football center stage, the SIAC, as the Wildcats of Fort Valley host the Allen University Yellow Jackets. Hello, everybody. James Redd, along with two-time Super Bowl champion and proud alum of the Fort Valley State University, Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, we're here at your home, and things are looking up under Sean Gibbs in his first season.
Yeah, Fort Valley, they are doing something special that hasn't been done in almost 15 years. They're starting 3-0, and that's an impact for Coach Gibbs and these Wildcats.
And for Allen University, their fourth year in their transition in Division II, Teddy Keaton, their head coach, they have a team that really has had some rough times. They had one game actually canceled due to lightning, but they're still trying to make that passing game work.
Yeah, Coach Keaton is doing also a great thing at Allen University. For a while, Allen University did not have a football program. So Coach Keaton is bringing back winning traditions for the Allen University football organization.
Well, for these two teams, they really butted heads even before kickoff, had a little skirmish. But as we take a look at our impact players, we have four gentlemen that really pack a wallop. As we take a look at David Wright, he is the signal caller for the Yellow Jackets, a young man out of Tampa. And defensively, guy that'll be tested today, Gary Barrage.
Yeah, David Wright, he's going to be the trigger man. He's going to have to get that ball to the wide receivers and try to put points on the board to keep Allen in this game.
One of the best rushers in Division II, Emmanuel Wilson, averaging 167 yards a run, and Christian Maddox, he'll be tested in that defensive backfield going up against David Wright.
Yeah, keep your eyes on Emmanuel Wilson. He is the guy that as long as he can run the ball, Fort Valley will always be in the game. So keep your eye on Wilson.
And we had Fort Valley win the toss and defer, and they'll kick it. Rodney Williams will handle the kickoff, and back deep for Allen University, Joshua Burley and Shamar Nelson. And that's Nelson right there, number 16. Now, Allen already has had a kickoff return for a score this season, and that was with Jamal Jones against Newberry in a 40-6 loss. Their second game against Johnson C. Smith canceled due to weather. And the kick is up, and we are underway, and it'll be out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
You know, James, when we talked to Coach Keaton, he said that this was one part of the game that he felt like they really need to take advantage of, the special teams. They felt like they could move the ball on offense and defense. They're going to take all 11 guys to stop that running game from Fort Valley, but he felt like the special teams is something they could take advantage of.
So it looks like Allen is going to take the penalty and move them back, and they'll do a re-kick. Looks like Coach Keaton wants to give his return men an opportunity to bring this one back.
Well, we know kickoff coverage is all about effort, it's all about speed, and it takes a lot of energy to sprint down. They're sprinting almost 50 yards. So now you're telling them to go back and sprint 50 yards again with about 30 seconds worth of breath. And I don't know about you, but anytime I sprinted and didn't have a real good recovery, I didn't run as fast as I did the first time, the second time.
Now that's why you train, right? How many 50s would you do in a day?
You know what? There's so much training you can do.
All right, we're going to have another opportunity for Rodney Williams to see if he can kick it inbounds.
Yeah, that's the second time that ball fell off the tee. The wind must be really swirling down there on that turf. You know, it's hot on that turf, too. You know, we're in Fort Valley. The temperature always gets hotter when you come down south. And that turf, it adds a little bit more temperature. So these guys, I'm pretty sure they were told to hydrate very well because it is a nice toasty day here in the valley.
High in the upper 80s. A little breeze, and now he gets this one off. Ball is touched by Burley, and it goes out of bounds. And now I think that plan didn't work so well because it's out of bounds now at the 11-yard line as opposed to having to get the 35.
You know, that is a mental error right there. That's a mental error. Number 5 for Allen Ruffin. He should have let that ball go out of bounds, and if he had let it go out of bounds, then Allen would have had the opportunity to advance the ball farther up.
Take a look at David Wright's numbers. Only one game that counted against Newberry, 16-32, 157 yards, but he can really sling it.
Again, David Wright, young guy, second-year sophomore. He is at his second season under this offense of Keaton, Coach Keaton, so I'm expecting him to play very well today.
They send Harris in motion. Now they'll have 3 to the wide side. Quick pitch and go to Horace, Jaden Horace from Tampa Tech, another sophomore on this young ball club of Allen University.
Yeah, Harris is one of those receivers that he is the go-getter. He's the top receiver for Allen University. You saw in that first play, Allen did a little bit of motion to get Fort Valley to shift, and it came backside to the single receiver, Harris.
Now the give to Harrington, and Harrington gets to the line of scrimmage, breaks out to about the 21-yard line to bring up third and relatively short.
Now, what I like about this play that Allen just ran, if you notice, they ran that same formation and the same motion. But this time, instead of throwing the ball, they ran the ball. So that tells me right there that Coach Keaton, he has variations of plays out of the same formation.
Harrington
Can't key on him.
Davenport, Florida, and he's a sophomore also.
Yeah, he's a sophomore, and he's another guy that can run the ball and catch the ball. So look for him to get his hands on the ball whenever Allen throws the ball as well.
3rd and 5. Wright with some time. Gets it off. Reception made out to midfield. Great catch there made by DeAndre Ruffin, the young man, Georgia native out of Savannah.
Yeah, again, look at the patient. Observation of the field. This is just a sophomore, people, and able to pat the ball. You see him pat that ball and deliver a strike. So deliver a strike to Harris, who's another one of those top receivers, number 3 right there for Allen University.
Now, 4th down.
Penalty against Allen. They lose the down, and now instead of having 1st down, they're looking at 4th down in a punting situation.
Yeah, right. This kid, right. I just can't wait to see it as this game progresses. This kid, again, just looking at him on those few couple of plays right there, you see the coaches grabbing him, patting him on the back. That's when you know you've done something pretty good, when the coaches say, hey, pat you on the back and say, hey, we'll get him next time. But this kid, right, man, look for him to have a real big game against this secondary of Fort Valley.
Wilkins to punt for the Yellow Jackets. Hakeem Ellington back for Fort Valley. He'll call for a fair catch at the 49-yard line of the Wildcats, and that's where the offense will take over for the home-standing Fort Valley State.
Yeah, right. Fort Valley almost got their hands on that punt. That was an excellent rush, and Allen University is lucky that they did not get that ball blocked. So that was a great rush by Fort Valley.
Just a freshman, Kelvin Durham. He does enough to manage the game, but he is also a dangerous runner if he has to.
This guy's a power runner. Fort Valley runs that power formation downhill, so all of the running backs are between the tackle runners.
Thompson in motion, and they're going to give to Wilson, and Wilson is quickly wrapped up and brought down.
And
good
Wilson,
tackle there made by Caleb Pierce.
And Wilson is the guy that, when I mentioned in running downhill, I know Durham, the quarterback, but when you look at this Fort Valley offense, you know, Durham, yes, you know, he's the guy, but Wilson, he is the heart and soul of this offense.
Going 5 wide now, giving Durham the look that he wants to pass, now putting Wilson in the backfield. Pitch and catch, reception made, second effort, gets enough for the 1st down into Yellow Jacket territory. Good reception there by Corinthians Edmonds.
You know what I like about both of these quarterbacks? They have been coached very well. They are looking off the safety and then coming to the primary receiver to the backside. So again, Durham and Wright, we have 2 good quarterbacks throwing that ball today. Got a little bit of that check with me, making sure that they got the right formation play call versus the defense of Allen.
Fumble on the play. gets it out to Wilson, and Wilson's going to take the broken play and make some positive yards, gets inside the 30, down to about the 27.
Yeah, this guy Wilson again. Not intended for him. Actually, it was going to be a toss. They kind of lined up in a crack formation, brought the formation in close, and that was going to be a toss to try to get Wilson on the edge. So he still made something good that looked like it was going to be bad. So, again, that's what Wilson can do for you. He's that type of athlete that when it looks bad, it's not going to be bad as long as you can get the ball in his hands.
On 2nd and 4, Durham looking to throw long, has a receiver into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Touchdown, Fraylin Warren with his first touchdown reception of the year.
Yeah, again, we see both teams doing a little bit of motion and trying to see what the defense is in. Fort Valley motion, Allen stayed in the zone. The cornerback did not continue to run with the receiver. Easy touchdown for Fort Valley. They are the first to strike gold here in the Valley.
Good job by Fraylin Warren to get open, and a good throw by Kelvin Durham. Point after was good, and you see Durham showing that freshman can sling it with a nice throw into the end zone. And Fraylin Warren, a transfer from the University of Charleston, getting his first touchdown, talking to the coaches via the headset here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Fort Valley State University. James Red, along with Tyrone Poole, a proud graduate. Now, Tyrone, you didn't have all this nice sprint turf and this nice stadium when you were playing here.
No, we had a track, and when I first got to Fort Valley, they did not have a track. I had a dirt track, but the track was put down maybe my sophomore year, so to speak, or somewhere in that area, but it's a nice stadium here.
No doubt about it. Burley on the return. He eludes one defender, and he is swarmed at about the 21-yard line. See the emotion coming from the Fort Valley special teamers.
Well, this is how you have to play. When you're at home, you're defending your turf. So the first quarter, the first couple of series is going to be high energy. And then after that, you settle down. But whenever you score, regardless of if you're the visitor or the home team, the kickoff coverage team always has that energy to run down and make a tackle. And right there, Fort Valley special teams did a great job of limiting Allen's return.
Now we'll see if Allen can answer. Bringing in Jordan McGee, normally slated as a linebacker. He's coming in as an extra running back, trying to give some more protection to David Wright.
You look at that formation that Allen.
5-yard penalty remains first down.
Second penalty now of the game against Allen moves them back 5.
Now, this is what you do not want to do if you are a visiting team. You do not want to shoot yourself in the foot, as they would say, with mental errors, penalties, and Allen is backing themselves up. But again, they do have a potent passing attack, so they can easily pick up yards.
And you see the head coach, Teddy Keaton, for Allen University, as he says, together we win. And right now, together, they're trying to move forward as they get about 3 of those 5 yards back from the penalty. Keaton in his 4th full season as head coach.
Yeah, I saw Coach Keaton when I was coming up, and I told him, I said, hey, Coach, we shook hands and hugged each other. I said, hey, Coach, give me something good to talk about today. He said, I got you. So we see what he has up his short sleeves today. It's pretty toasty out there. So see what he has up his sleeve.
2nd down and 11. Wright throws a bullet, reception made, run after the catch. Good job by Jaden Horace. He gets into Wildcat territory down to the 45.
Yeah, between Harris right there, number 4, and you got Harris, number 3, Wright has a lot of guys he can go to. So when we talked to Coach Gibbs, this was one of his concerns, defending the passing attack of Allen. And we're beginning to see why Coach Gibbs was a little bit worried about their passing attack.
Inside run now, trying to keep them honest, but that Blue Death defense is right there to quickly swarm and bring down the running back for Allen.
Yeah, Fort Valley defense is no joke now. That Blue Death defense is ranked high. You know, you have Wilson, the running back, that's ranked very high on the offensive side, and this Blue Death defense is ranked very high when it comes to points allowed and total yardage. So it's going to be tough for Allen, and Coach Keaton told us on the call that he wants to establish a balanced run-pass game today to keep that Blue Death defense off balance.
1 yard on the carry for Bo Harrington, and now Wright once again finds an open receiver in DeAndre Ruffin, and Ruffin gets about 4 to 5 yards to bring up 3rd down and short.
You know, that short pass right there reminds me of the old Bill Walsh offense. You know, throw it short. As Bill Walsh would say, the short pass is an extension of the run game. So get the ball into your receiver's hands and let them run. And right there we saw Ruffin get the ball. Couldn't quite break loose, but again, picks up positive yards. Makes it a manageable 3rd down.
3rd and 3, ball now at the 40 of the Wildcats, and the Yellow Jackets are driving. Another quick pass, trying to elude a defender. Looks like he slips on the turf. Jamal Jones, first time we've called his name, the young man from Armwood High School down in the Tampa area.
Yeah, for this receiver screen to actually work, the quarterback has to deliver a fast ball. Get that ball to the receiver as quick as possible so that the receiver can have one person to miss. The longer it takes for that ball to get to the wide receiver, you get a defensive opportunity to corner the receiver and hopefully limit the return yak, as they would say, yards after the catch by the receiver. And Fort Valley did a great job there.
Bringing in some heavy bodies. Wright still at quarterback, going to throw it. Looking long, has a receiver open. Catch made inside the 5, down to the 3. Jaden Horace again. And it looks like he is going directly after the defensive backs, finding whoever is there and torching them.
You know, this is one of those situations where Allen had the ball. They had to go for it on 4th down. And they say that there's a high percentage of completion and getting the 1st down when you go for it on 4th down. And right there, Allen just added to that percentage that teams probably need to start thinking about going for it on 4th down.
1st and goal now, ball on the 3. Allen gives it to Harrington, gets to the line of scrimmage, and not much more. May have gotten one.
Yeah, I think that little stutter step kind of cost Harrington a little bit right there. We watch it. He had a little hesitation in his steps, and then he tried to cut it up in there. When you get down here in the goal line and you run that ball, you got to plant that foot in the ground, and you got to go forward. But either way, he positions Allen closer to that goal line and hopefully a score.
Give him 3 yards on that carry. Bo Harrington again. Harrington gets to about the half-yard line. Fort Valley is saying that he may have lost the football, but they're saying the ground can't cause it. And you see a look at Bo Harrington now as he goes to the sideline, young man out of Davenport, Florida.
This is the part of football, whether it's training camp or whether it's mini camp or whether it's regular season. This is what they call goal line. That ball, that is exactly where they place that ball. Is defensive line versus offensive line. Who's the biggest, baddest, and strongest?
Wright's going to try to do a quarterback sneak from a half yard out. See the official call. Touchdown, Allen University, and right there with the point after attempt, it could be a tie ball game. And you see the Allen faithful who've made it from Columbia, South Carolina, David Wright, orchestrating a wonderful drive to tie this game up.
Again, goal line. It's all kinds of techniques that really one technique that is used by the defensive lineman on that goal line. And right there, Allen, they wanted it more than Fort Valley. Ties the game up.
Payne for the point after attempt. And it is good. And with 6:47 left in the opening quarter, David Wright has orchestrated some long, incredible passes and ends with a short run. And we're all tied up at 7 here at Fort Valley.
Let there be no doubt. You are ready for whatever comes next. You've got bars to raise, expectations to exceed, status quos to rise above. And you've come to the right place. Because it all starts right here. Which is precisely why we are so proud to support HBCU programs.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just the touch of a button, because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
Trophies, awards, medals.
They show your hard work paid off.
In a game of life, there are also trophies.
They look like an organized financial plan to pay for your college, maybe even graduate school.
Buying a house is a trophy.
Starting your own business, that's a championship trophy.
To help students gain the financial savvy to succeed at life, UBS has teamed with EverFi and the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference to create Elevate.
Elevate delivers personalized financial training, access to wellness workshops, and career development programs, all for free and designed exclusively for SIAC communities.
Financial freedom, that's the ultimate trophy. Get started today at ubs.com/elevate.
And you're taking a look at the first-year head coach, Sean Gibbs, for Fort Valley, longtime assistant at North Carolina A&T, North Carolina Central, and Grambling State. His first head coaching opportunity, and so far he's clicking on all cylinders as he has the Wildcats undefeated. Ball taken at the 10-yard line. trying to set up a wall, may have an opportunity there. Flag is thrown. This may all be coming back, but a strong return by the Wildcats. It appears to be a touchdown for Justin Harris, big number 22. I just found out today he is a fourth-generation Fort Valley. His grandfather wore that number here.
Yeah, that's good. And you know what, that actually, it's a shame that that play has to come back, but that's what they call a big field return. He caught that ball on the right side of the field and came back to the left, the wide side. So they call that big field return. And usually when you get through that first wave, it's usually going to be a big play. But, wow, great blocking, except for one person. That's why football is the ultimate team sport. It takes everybody.
Doing the return. Illegal block in the back. Return team, number 34. That penalty will be enforced half the distance. First down.
Yeah, watch this. Watch this again, big field. Right there, you see it. You saw it right there by the hash, 34. Again, big field return where you can get that edge and you just seal. Basically, the big field return seals the kickoff coverage team to the side that the ball was kicked to, which opens up the wide side, and it opened up for Fort Valley, but they got to go back and start at their 10-yard line and go 90 yards against this Allen defense. But when you got Wilson and Durham right there, 1 and 3, man, it doesn't matter where you started on this football field.
Give to Wilson, and he breaks the line of scrimmage, may have got 1, possibly 2 yards.
Now, you know, Wilson had a real big game against Tuskegee. I'm like, he's still running right now in the minds of Tuskegee defensive players. But, you know, he didn't really have those big numbers against Kentucky State. So Kentucky State said, hey, you know what? If Fort Valley's going to beat us, they're going to have to beat us with somebody else. But this guy right here, number 1, is not going to beat us. So Wilson, again, as he goes, Fort Valley goes.
1 yard gain on the run, 2nd and 9. Durham looking for someone. And a catch is made. Good reception there by Fralin. Fralin already has a touchdown reception under his belt.
Again, here a little half roll to the quarterback, non-throwing side. And that's kind of a tough throw when you throw into your non-throwing side because you have to set up, square up, and be able to deliver an accurate pass.
3rd down and 5.
Fort Valley on a 2-by-2, 2 receivers on both sides.
Three seconds on the play clock. They get it off in time. Durham getting some pressure on the backside. He eludes 2 defenders. The third one hits him. Looks like a reception made. Will they call it a catch? Yes, they will. Catch is made. Good catch there by Corinthians Edmonds.
Yeah, great elusiveness by Durham right here. He brought Wilson over number 1 to pick up that block, which was good about the check with me. It allows the quarterback and the coaches to see where the blitz is coming from, and you see Durham deliver a fastball, as they would say in baseball, to the receiver. Picks up a 1st down for Fort Valley.
Edmonds, a senior on this Wildcat bunch.
Timeout. Allen. First
timeout is called. We'll take it with them. We got an interesting game, all tied up at 7. We'll see if Fort Valley can remain undefeated. And for Fort Valley State, Coach Gibbs trying to connect the past, present, and future. And Allen University is part of that past. Fort Valley leads the series 1-0 last meeting 2021. But before that, it was Allen University who had the advantage, and that goes back to the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, they say it was 60 years in the making. So these guys finally had an opportunity to get back together in 2019.
Good pitch and catch and run after the catch. Enough to move the chains and get enough for a first down. Gentry Sparks, tight end with a good reception.
You know, I've always felt if you can have a good tight end, that you can open up your offense. And right there, you see number 13 right there, Sparks, come underneath, tried to hide himself behind that offensive line to sneak out. And he was able to sneak out and pick up positive yards for Fort Valley. Good job by Durham right there.
Freshman to freshman. A lot of young talent out here on the field today. Keeping it is Durham on the nice fake. He eludes one defender and now brought down by 2 on the second level, but not before he gets enough for the first down out to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, now, you got to worry about Wilson. He's always going to be that guy that the defense is going to pay attention. Where is Wilson? But you better worry about this guy right here, number 3, Durham, because he can run it himself.
They sent Warren in motion to the far side to give it a 3-wide receiver look. Movement on the line, and play is stopped.
I always felt that they should if the offense jump, just let the play continue. When the defense jump, they let the play continue. So come on, man, let's do it right for the defense as well. Let the play continue. But I understand it's an offensive game, James.
False start. Offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
I'll move them back 5, and Coach Gibbs says he wants to try to get alignment and assignment. Definitely cut down on penalties.
Well, alignment and assignment, those are big words right there. Those words allow you also to make plays. And when you are aligned correctly and everybody knows what they're doing.
Oh, he hands it off to Wilson. Looks like that play may have not been. It was like a delayed handoff. And we've got some pushing and shoving going on, even some kicking. Barrage, Gary Barrage in on the tackle amongst others. Add to that, Justin Eaton coming in from the defensive backfield.
They call this play just a delayed draw. That's all it is, a delayed draw. Try to get the D-line from Allen to push up field and vacate and open up holes in the blocking scheme and try to allow Wilson to find a gap. But Allen was right on top of it.
2nd and 15. And this time Durham keeps it, and he was snuffed out rather quickly. Barrage there on the tackle. Gary Barrage and company starting to feel good about themselves, along with Kerry Thompson Jr.
Yeah, Thompson, D-lineman, 6'4", senior from Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. So, again, defense is all about energy. Whether you're dancing or you're yelling, defense is about energy. That stuff transfers. So, Thompson, see him do a lot of it.
Durham takes a hit and interception. Will they call it an interception? No, they're going to say that it hit the ground. And Allen really wanted that one. DeLille Wilkins there on coverage, and he took a hit. Oh, yeah, it went straight through him.
Yeah, good 4-man rush there by Allen University. When you can get 4-man rush and you don't have to bring an extra person on a blitz, it gives you an opportunity, if the 4-man rush can get there, to cause errant throws. And just like they created right there, Allen University defense put pressure on Durham, almost came up with interception.
Jones back deep for Allen.
And this is what I loved here. When I was punt return, I just loved it, man. I kind of like act like Dion back there. You know, can't wait to punt the ball to me.
That one goes out of bounds at about the 35. They want to try to keep it away from Jones. He had a 100-yard kickoff return against Newberry to start the season. The Blue Def defense coming back onto the field. Last time out, it was the Yellow Jackets who stung them a little bit and tied this game at 7.
You know, you mentioned about kicking the ball away from Jones. Yeah, he's an all-purpose guy. And, again, you know, anytime I come back to the Valley, it just reminds me of what I used to do. And they used to kick it away from me too, James. So, but I used to get my hands on it every once in a while. And when I did, I made them pay for it.
So when they kicked it away from you, you saw that as a sign of respect?
That's respect. That's respect. Now, sometimes you just get a bad kick.
Wright looking to throw. Now he's going to keep it on the ground. He eludes one defender, and now before he gains about 7-8 yards, brings up second and short. Good run there by David Wright.
Now, I don't care what level you play on. I don't care if it's high school, Division II, Division I. The quarterback, you're not a running back. We got to get down, get as many yards as you can and get down. Allen, his right is too important for this offense to get hurt.
Second effort gets some positive yards for Bo Harrington. Enough to move the chains first down as we get closer to midfield, right at about the 47 of Allen.
You know, if I'm Bo Harrington, I'm like, I know they're talking about Wilson for Fort Valley, but sometimes the other opponents running back takes it personal. You know, hey, I'm just as good as Wilson, so I'm pretty sure Harrington is like, hey, I'm going to show you guys what I can do.
So you're saying he's not chopped liver, huh?
Hey, if you're out there on that field playing, you are A1 prime.
Gave it to Jaquan Thompson, his first carry of the game, and he gets some positive yards, about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Just a freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Now, anytime you're going to run the ball, it's just like basketball. Football, you got to have depth in the bench. Basketball, you got to have depth in the bench. And when you run the ball, football is all about spacing. It's all about how deep is your bench. And again, Allen, Fort Valley, they have a staple of running backs.
That one goes incomplete. Pressure applied by the Blue Def defense, affectionately known here at Fort Valley. We played one quarter. Allen University on the road has come in and passed it around and able to tie this game up. We're all tied at 7 apiece in the SIAC. Stay tuned for the second quarter. Teddy Keaton, the fourth-year head coach for Allen University, when we had a chance to talk to him this week, what did he say, Tyrone? He said he came here to kick some butt, right?
Hey, I like Coach Keaton, man. I like Coach Gibbs, too. Both of them had that attitude of winning.
Right to start the second quarter, looking for a receiver. Wow, it looks like he almost had him. And incomplete. Pass intended for Jamal Jones. Good coverage there by Tyler Moore for Fort Valley.
But great coverage by Moore. But let me tell you what Wright could have done. And this is all young receivers. When you know the ball is underthrown and you got the defensive back beat, turn and run into the defensive back trying to go back for the ball. That's an automatic pass interference, and you actually get the ball at the spot of the foul. So for all young wide receivers, turn and go through the defensive back to try to catch the ball. Automatic flag.
Punting situation now for Allen. DeMar Wilkins to punt. Flag is thrown. And we should have a return here by Fort Valley. And we've got multiple flags being thrown right now. Look, a little bit of pushing and shoving. Ellington on the return.
Yeah, had White and Lawson. Actually, a little scuffle. You know, sometimes you get blocked so good. You get frustrated, especially on a day like this when it's hot. That turf adds another 10 degrees. And you're telling yourself, if my temperature go up 1 more degree, somebody getting in trouble. I'm fighting. Checking out this punt here. Good kick. Good kick. Right there you can kind of see a little bit of action happening. You know, you just have to be careful when you're on special teams because it's easy to get out of position and end up getting a silly penalty, blocking in the back, clipping. So that's why when you mentioned, Coach said alignment and assignment. You have to make sure you have the correct alignment. It's like setting a pick in basketball. If you don't get in the proper position to set that pick, you basically, the pick and roll can't work effectively. So same thing when blocking on punt return, kick return. You have to position yourself properly so that you can be effective. And when you get out of position, that's when penalties start happening.
Coach Gibbs had a feeling that this game would be, he didn't call it a trap game, but he knew that this would be a challenge for his team because they're starting to hear all the accolades that's coming their way, but he wants them to be focused on the job at hand.
You know, I don't think they're ever trap games. I just think they're just times when you don't study like you're supposed to. But there are teams that on any given Saturday, as they say, any given Sunday, if everybody can put it together, then you can beat anybody. Always got to come with your best, James.
No doubt.
There are multiple fouls on this play on the return team. During the return, personal foul, illegal hands to the face, number 29 of the return team. That penalty is declined. Hold it. Return team, number 29. That penalty will be enforced from the spot of the 5, 10 yards. First down.
So one declined and the other one accepted, which will move them back. And Coach Gibbs definitely doesn't want the self-inflicted wounds of penalties like that. And first quarter, some people will be a little shocked. Allen University, 27 to Fort Valley's 12. And this is for a Fort Valley team that is averaging almost 200 yards a game rushing.
Well, you know, really, those stats, they're disappointing kind of a little bit on Fort Valley side because they are a rushing team. But as far as Allen, I think that's, you know, not probably where they want to be. But I would definitely think that them being able to throw the ball allows them to be able to run the ball. because as a defense, you got to decide what you want to take away. And Allen loves to throw the ball, so if you take away the throw, then you open up them an opportunity to run the ball. So that is what a pass game can do for you. For Fort Valley, again, those are low numbers, especially when you got a running back like Wilson, who is ranked in Division II stats when it comes to total yards rushing and yards per carry.
Right now, they're going to need a lot of yards per carry because it was moved to half the distance to the goal. And now it'll be 1st and 10 inside their 20. And for Allen University, Kerry Thompson Jr. and company, they're feeling pretty good on the road for their first SIAC road game. Able to keep one of the teams people are pleasantly surprised to see undefeated in Fort Valley.
You know, Coach Gibbs has gotten his Wildcats off to a great start. Coach Gibbs coming into his first year, implementing his system, and so far it has worked to perfection. 2-0, looking for 3-0 today.
Pitch and catch, successful run after the catch, looking good. Another head fake, and off to the races we go. Fraylin Warren has been magnificent here early in the game.
Yeah, you want to know what happens when you can deliver a pass like Durham just did right there to Warren, hitting him while he's running, and the defense is in a man defense right there, yards after the catch. You're able to pick up big plays. And what is a big play in a pass game? Anything over 25 yards.
35 yards on that reception. Out to midfield.
Fort Valley got a 4 strong there. They got 4 possible receivers on the side of the ball.
Throw again, catch made by Warren. And Fraylin Warren Jr. has been the favorite target for Kelvin Durham. Now he's saying, wait a minute, I need to get some water or something.
You know, the quarterback always has receivers that they work with and trust in, and when you feel that connection, again, comparing other sports, it's just like basketball. Whoever has the hottest hand, that's who you want to shoot the ball. So Warren Jr. right there, for all the family members, he got his name right there, Warren Jr., so you can quickly identify him. Number 2, Fort Valley.
Flag is thrown. This may all be coming back. And Dindy's first carry of the game gets about 8, but it may be all be coming back because the flag was near the line of scrimmage.
A legal formation, offense, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot remains. Second down.
Alignment and assignment, right?
That's it. If you put yourself out of position, usually that's what happens. Penalties. MEs, mental errors, is what we call them. MEs, mental errors.
Timeout called by Fort Valley with 13-16 left here in the opening half.
Timeout.
We'll see if the offense can get back on track, get the alignment and the assignment going, all tied up at 7.
Trophies, awards, medals.
They show your hard work paid off.
In a game of life, there are also trophies.
They look like an organized financial plan to pay for your college, maybe even graduate school.
Buying a house is a trophy.
Starting your own business, that's a championship trophy.
To help students gain the financial savvy to succeed at life, UBS has teamed with EverFi and the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference to create Elevate.
Elevate delivers personalized financial training, access to wellness workshops, and career development programs, all for free and designed exclusively for SIAC communities.
Financial freedom, that's the ultimate trophy. Get started today at ubs.com/elevate.
When you're part of something bigger than yourself, it feels like all you ever do is win, win, win. And when that something is an HBCU, you know you can't help but win, win, win. So, as proud supporters of HBCU programs, we just can't lose.
Since 1837, historically black colleges and universities have been fulfilling their purpose to educate and empower. Since 2009, the Home Depot's Retool Your School Campus Improvement Grant Program has also been powered by a purpose to update, upgrade, and uplift HBCU campuses. Today, 44 million votes, $4.1 million, and 147 grants later, we remain inspired by the people, the passion, and the power of HBCUs to continue our purpose. Learn more at retoolyourschools.com.
All tied up at 7 apiece here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Fort Valley State University. James Verrett along with Tyrone Poole. And Tyrone, what we've seen in the first half is a little bit of role reversal. Allen being able to effectively run the ball, and we've seen Fort Valley able to throw it.
Yeah, I think Fort Valley was concerned about that passing game of Allen, which is allowing Allen University to be able to run the ball effectively.
Well, if you see Fort Valley at this point, do you try to run the ball a little bit more, or keep that passing game going as they find Fraylin Warren open early and often?
Well, we know Coach Gibbs is a coach that he has a variety of run and pass plays, so I expect him to stay with what works.
Trying to find that balance. Passing game once again. They go to the air. Cordell Pimentia, we're on the reception, and he's able to get a first down and more. One of the few senior wide receivers for Fort Valley.
Yeah, you know that receiver screen. If you can get that ball into the receiver's hands quick enough, you get those offensive linemen rolling out there trying to find somebody to truck and run over and blast. Then you give your wide receivers, just like we saw right there with Tim Alderman.
Got a player down for the Yellow Jackets, tied at 7. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
Media timeout.
And the player that was down, he is back up and on the side, Ja'Cory Foster, freshman out of Plantation, Florida. And now we're looking at 1st and 10 for Fort Valley. Going long, and oh yes, they'll throw a flag on that one. They were mixing it up. Edmonds, the intended receiver, he's already caught a couple today.
They saw Allen University come with a blitz on that particular play, which put the defensive backs in a one-on-one situation. And anytime as a defensive back you get that blitz, you're expecting the ball to come out soon. So that's why that blitz and man-to-man coverage has to work together.
Defense, number 8, 15-yard for the previous spot. First down.
That's on Terrell Lumpkin, a freshman out of Keith, Alabama.
They tried to put a little bit of heat on Durham, and he did what you do. You throw it up and hope to get the pass interference, and that's what Fort Valley got. Moved them closer.
Moves them up to
again.
Yeah, moves them up to about the 21-yard line.
Again, like I said, when you go to bring the blitz, you put cornerback like number 8 right there, Lumpkin, in a situation where you're expecting the ball to come out quick, and if that blitz doesn't get there, it gives the quarterback more time to throw that ball, and the receiver now runs a go route on you, and you do the best thing you can do is try to cover it up, and if you can't cover it, you get the pass interference. But don't let them score.
Another pitch and catch. Not sure if his knee hit the ground. It looks like it did. Piamento on the reception.
Yeah, we'll check it out here. Again, quick fastball. Right there. Yeah, knee touch the ground. College football, that knee touch the ground, you're down. Now, if he ever goes to the pros, get an opportunity, he go down that one knee, he better pop right back up.
Or he's going to get popped. Huh?
Exactly. He's still alive. But in college football, that knee touch the ground, the ball is dead.
And this time the pitch and catch doesn't work. Lumpkin there on the coverage, and it was Edwards that was saying, hey, man, throw it up. I stand 6'2", 210. Throw it up. I'll go get it. Especially with those nice gloves on.
Yeah, you know, Fort Valley looking to go 2-0.
Did you have gloves like that when you were playing?
Yeah, I used to be kind of, I would buy my own gloves and try to make sure I looked nice, had the sweet towel, you know, had the jersey tucked underneath. You know, those who, you know, understand about the tucking of the jersey underneath, you use the duct tape to kind of, you know, so you show off your abs and you fold that shirt underneath. You got to look sweet.
Wow, Durham takes a hit. He does dump it off. Positive yards inside the 10. Great job there with the second effort. Fraylin Warren has just been Johnny on the spot and a comfort blanket for Durham.
Again, Durham takes a little lick there, but he's able to stand and stay in the pocket and deliver a throw to Warren. Warren does what he has to do, run after the catch. Puts Fort Valley in a first down situation, looking to score again, take the lead.
First and goal from the 9. Handoff to Troy Dindy, doesn't go very far.
Now, you know, sometimes why it's so hard to run the ball down in this area is because teams are going to play more of a man-to-man defense. They're going to try to attack each gap that the offense has. So that's why sometimes it's tough to run the ball. And that's why you see a lot of times scores are done through the air versus the ground.
2nd and 11. Getting some pressure. And this time he's going to go down. They'll call that a sack. Gary Barrage and company able to get credit for their first sack. Tavian Edmond also there on the play.
Yeah, just like I said, when you're down in this area here, you're going to get pressure. How many people Allen brings? Says They brought a blitz, 1, 2, 3, 4. They brought the house, and everybody else on the back end is man to man. So right there, they were able to get to Durham. And Fort Valley lost yards. Allen University gets a sack.
Pushes him back to the 14-yard line now, third and goal from the 14. Once again, applying pressure. Durham looks, wow, intended for Warren and just incomplete. Just led him a little bit too much.
Yeah, Warren had a step on 39 right there. Victor for Allen University, but because of the pressure, and believe me, as a quarterback, you see that linebacker coming. So I'm pretty sure Warren saw that linebacker coming. You see right there, he's telling everybody, hey, that's my fault. That's my fault. But when you see that pressure coming, you got to get rid of that ball. And sometimes you can't step into that throw like you want. And kind of like off target. So Durham, he was off target on that throw.
Field goal attempt now for Rodney Williams. Kick is up, and it is good. Fort Valley does not leave the field empty. They're able to get 3 and regain the lead. 10-7 Wildcats right here on ESPN.
Yo, new Sprite?
No, same Sprite, new bottle. It's kind of like same floater, new heights.
Same jam, new style points.
Same pregame, new drip.
Same spokes, new person.
Same ice, new tray. That's cold.
New bottle, same refreshing Sprite.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button, because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
And for Allen University, Teddy Keaton, his defense did enough to hold Fort Valley to just 3 points as they had first and goal from the 9. Good job there. 10-play, 75-yard drive, ate up 4 minutes of the clock, and we'll see if Allen University's offense can answer. Williams with the kick. Allen will take it from inside their own 5. And with second effort, gets out to about the 26-yard line. Good coverage there by Fort Valley.
You know, I'm pretty sure Coach Keaton is very happy with his Allen defense, because you're going up against a number 1, a top-rated running back in Wilson, offense of Fort Valley that is haven't shown you the pass. They've shown mostly the run in the last couple of games, Kentucky State and Tuskegee. So I'm pretty sure Coach Keaton is happy with his defense. And now Wright has an opportunity to try to get this offense going.
Trying an end around, able to get some positive yards there. is Jamal Jones. Agent Zero, one of the speedsters for the Yellow Jackets.
Again, Coach Keaton, he's turned his program around, Allen University, because for over a lot of years, they never, I think, 2006 was when the program stopped, 2007, and then they came back in 2017 to start the program back up. So Coach Keaton has done a great job at Allen University.
And they're transitioning from NAIA to Division II. Wright throws it high and incomplete. There is a flag thrown. Armand Harris was the intended receiver.
Again, see if we can pick it up across and route right there. Look like a little bit of a little bit of early contact right there. That was minimum. You know, being a defensive back, that's minimum.
So now they say no flag.
No flag. There you go.
3rd down and 9.
Let them play ball, boss. Let them play.
Bullet pass reception made by Harris, but he is met quickly by a swarming Wildcat defense. Bring up 4th down and about 2. So now if you're Allen at this point, do you go for it with 8 minutes left in the half, or do you try to kick it away?
Well, at this point of the field, the smartest thing would be to punt the ball away. So, I don't know, maybe they're going to try to get them to jump off sides, but to actually try to do a play on this side of the field, it takes a lot of kahunas, as they would say.
They're going to go for it, try to get to the outside, and they do enough for the 1st down. Bo Harrington really bowls up and gets the yardage needed to move the chains.
Well, hey, kahunas, right? That's what Coach Keaton said. He said he come here to win. And when you have that mentality, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go for it on your side of the 50. And that just shows that Coach Keaton has belief in Harrington. He has belief in his quarterback, Wright. He has belief in all of the offense.
Wright, throwing a touch pass, reception made, and into Wildcat territory. Another great job of a pitch and catch, reception made by Jaden Horace.
Yeah, between Horace, Harris, Jones, Wright has some good receivers to throw to. And again, the secondary of Fort Valley will get tested. But this is where Fort Valley defense cannot allow. They cannot allow big plays. Again, big plays in the passing game, in my mind, is anything over 25 yards. A big run is anything over 15 yards.
Going to the outside. Bo Harrington showing that he can catch it out of the backfield.
And again, Bo Harrington, not only can he run the ball, he did very well last year for Allen, running and catching the ball. And this is the type of guy that you want when you're in a passing type offense. This is almost like the old Houston Oilers back in the day. You remember they had Warren Moon and
the red gun offense.
Man, they used to have running backs that could catch it and run it, and that's what Harrington does for Allen University.
Right, another dump off to Harrington. Harrington eludes 2 defenders, gets inside the 10, enough to move the chains. They'll call him down at the 10, but move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Again, you see Harrington, he checks, no blocking assignment. He leaks out into the flats. Wright looks down the field, didn't find anybody, dumps it off to Harrington, who picks up 1st down for Allen University. That's that safety valve, as they would say. Nobody's open, dump it to your safety valve.
Right, once again, the short passing game working. Jaden Horace again on the reception. Gets down to the 5.
Again, the closer an offense gets to the goal line, the more the defense is going to tighten up. You're going to see Fort Valley play more man-to-man. You're going to see Fort Valley come with more blitzing. So you got receivers like Harvest right there, number 4, and you got a trigger man like Wright. You got Jones and Harrington. It's a lot for that defense to defend, so you got to be very careful of the defensive calls for Fort Valley. But right now, man-to-man.
Trying to do a touch pass, extending the arm. Flag is thrown. Looks like it'll be pass interference, but we'll see what the official call will be. Jamal Janvier on the coverage.
Yeah, again, anytime that ball's in the air, defensive back does not get his head around, and the receiver tries to make any attempt to go back towards the ball, it's going to be a flag, pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. The foul happened in the end zone, so the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Let's check it out again.
And Horace looks like he was going to try to do a one-handed on this one.
Just a fade route. Actually pretty good coverage by the DB, Jamal, right there. But what he did, he stopped playing the football. He started playing the receiver.
Ball batted down and incomplete. Now we've got some pushing and shoving going on the bottom of the pile there. Tyler Moore right there to bat it away.
Now, Fort Valley wants to hold Allen to a field goal here. You don't want them to get into the end zone, even though it's 2nd and 2. They're in pretty good position. Could be a pass or run with this offensive Allen.
Harrington on the carry into the end zone. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Touchdown, Allen University. And for the first time in the game, it's Allen with the lead.
Now, I know a lot of people say, where's Allen University? You know, that's the same thing they used to ask me about Fort Valley. Where's Fort Valley? But Allen University, Coach Keaton, again, is doing a great job with this team. You see Bo Harrington right there, a great cut. He saw the opening to his right, put it up in there. Touchdown for Allen. They take the lead.
Point after attempt is blocked. And the Wildcats special team step up big, and they keep the lead for Allen just down to 3. The point after attempt fails, but Bo Harrington gets into the end zone for his first touchdown of the afternoon. And right now, Allen University out rushing Fort Valley, but more importantly, leading the Wildcats.
Again, Bo Harrington, he's doing everything, catching, running. We saw him on some swing passes. We've seen him all over the place. We've seen Wright, touch passing, nice drop in right there to Harvest, picks up positive yards for Allen. They continue to move the ball down, and they finish it off right here by Bo Harrington with a nice cut into the end zone. Touchdown, Allen University.
And the point after attempt, big block right there, which was needed for the Wildcats.
You know, football, you don't want no points taken off of that board. You don't want to miss out on any opportunity to score. That 1 point, hopefully, if you're Allen's fans watching the game, you hope that 1 point doesn't come back to bite you.
And a good job there by Harrington, the sophomore out of Davenport, Florida. And we've already seen the return man for Fort Valley return one all the way that was called back. Let's see if he can do it again and work the magic again. Justin Harris does a good return, but there is a late flag all the way back at the 21-yard line. And Justin Harris. Now, the one thing you have to remember, fans, before you got here, while teams were warming up, Allen and Fort Valley had some words on the field because one team thought the other team shouldn't have been on the field at that time, and it got so heated to where the athletic director had to come in and just try to calm everybody down. And you saw what is going on as far as the penalty.
Yeah, you know.
During the return, holding, 0, return team. 10 penalty enforced from the spot of the 5, first down.
You know, sometimes that's very tough when you're trying to block guys that are running full speed at you, and you have to settle your feet, and they call it catching. You got to catch that full speed cover guy and stay in position to block him. And sometimes it's very tough for a kick return unit to be able to produce without some type of penalty at times being called.
And it's not only penalty, but the time and location of those penalties have been crucial this afternoon for Fort Valley. Wilson trying to get to the outside, and he can't do it because he is quickly wrapped up. Good open field tackle made there by Richard Hayes on the defensive line.
Again, Richard Hayes, great edge. When you say set the edge, that is what we saw right there. Wilson tried to get to the outside, but because the D lineman was able to keep him from turning the ball up, made a great play for Allen defense. A great run-stopping defense, you always got to set the edge.
Wilson trying to get to the outside. He gets to the line of scrimmage, and then a host of white shirts right there to bring him down.
You know, I don't believe that is Wilson's game. I don't think he is a sideline east-west guy. He is the type of running back where he's north-south. Coach Gibbs says that he has good balance, and when you can get Wilson going east-west, I think you take him out of his game. He's a downhill runner, and you got to get him going. He's kind of like Henry up in Tennessee.
Derrick Henry.
You know, you got to get him going north-south. You got to get Wilson going north-south.
Harrington went in motion. Check that, Wilson in motion, and reception made there by Ellington, and Ellington doing a good job there and he's normally a return man. Haven't seen him quite often in the passing game, but he is one of their receivers.
And yeah, what was so good on that play was Allen University defensive back Jones, who tackled the catch. So that's why Fort Valley is punting, because Jones was in man-to-man and he was able to tackle the catch and limit the run after the catch.
Looks like they ran out of time on the play clock. Oh, they saying that had some movement on the line.
False start. Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty remains. 4th down.
Pushes them back a little bit. And Jamal Jones still back for Allen University. Return team needs and coverage team needs to remember that they've got a dangerous man back there returning kicks.
Yeah, that guy is double edge. Double edge. He'll cut you either way, offense or special teams. Let's see what happens.
Williams' kick is short and goes out of bounds depending on where they spot it.
It's a good spot. It looks like it's on Fort Valley side of the 50.
And they do get a favorable spot inside the 50, inside to the Wildcat 46-yard line. That's where the Yellow Jackets will take over with a 3-point lead and 3 minutes, 27 seconds left in the first half. A lot of people just tuning in most likely was not expecting this.
You know, I think Allen University, they were expecting a game like this. I'm pretty sure Fort Valley State fans were not expecting a game like this. But again, we have two coaches Keaton, Coach Keaton for Allen University, and Coach Gibbs. These are two determined head coaches.
Wright's going to throw it long. Has a receiver. Catch made. Great reception by the Yellow Jackets. And there it is. Agent Zero, Jamal Jones. We talked about him as a return man, but he's also a dynamic receiver.
You know, last year for this offense, Jamal Jones averaged 14.4 yards a catch. So he's just picking up where he left off in 2021. So he's an explosive wide receiver, and he showed it right there.
43 yards on that reception. Brings up 1st and goal. Harrington this time. Blue Death is right there to shut the door, affectionately known as the Blue Death defense. And they quickly close it on Mr. Harrington. Caleb Thomas and company, big number 99 for Fort Valley, in on the stop.
Yeah, Fort Valley defensive line was able to get off on that ball. And that's what it's all about. You know, in practice, sometimes they have a ball that's tied to a stick, and you have that defensive line coach. You know, he's going through the various cadences, trying to get the D-line to read the ball. And once they see that ball pulled, then they get off. And right there on that last play, you saw Fort Valley D-line get off and create negative yards for Allen.
Wright's trying to find a receiver. Flag is thrown. This may be coming back. Looks like he did find someone into the end zone. Amon Harris. But this may be all coming back.
Yeah, anytime you see that quarterback get outside the pocket and you see that flag go.
Holding, offense, number 23.
Always going to be
10
holding.
yards and force from the spot of the 5. Remains 2nd down.
Again, Wright drops back, looks to his left. Again, I like the way his progression. Nothing there. He takes off, but guess what? He's still looking to throw the ball. Guy in traffic. Come to me. Delivers a nice ball, but too bad it was holding on the play. I like Wright. Wright is that's what you call a field general. You know, he's a field general, and I like that. You just saw him guiding and directing and looking off and touch passes. You know, Coach Keaton's done a great job. Right.
Now 2nd down and goal, ball all the way back on the 16-yard line. Wright looking in the end zone. High catch. Wow, reception made. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Armon Harris goes right back to him and finds him in the end zone as they expand their lead to 19-10.
Watch Harrington Wright again on this play. Watch David Wright. I'm like, the guy, his patience, man. I'm like, looking. Staying in the pocket. He's standing. You don't see him like get flustered. He's reading, looking for the open man, throws a touch pass right there to Harris. Another touchdown for Allen University.
And final timeout of the half.
And with 1:49 left to go, it is all Allen all day. The second quarter has been their quarter as they expand their lead to 9. Looks like they're going for two. Armand Harris has already done his job and gotten the end zone for the first time this season as they've expanded the lead to 19-10. Wright looking to go again, throwing for two into the end zone. Touchdown, finds Bo Harrington. The two-point conversion is good, and now the lead is expanded to 11 points, 21-10, Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, again, Allen picks up that missed extra point, and now they actually position themselves. But right here, the long pass, nice touch. Again, Wright just sitting in the pocket, looking for the open man, finds Jones. He just look at his feet, his footwork. If you're able to look through those linemen, you see his feet. His feet are, watch his feet. Watch his feet. Look at his eyes. Look at his shoulder. He has been coached very well. Nice touch. Gets it over the defensive back. Touchdown to Harvest right there. 2-point play here. Just quick, flat route. Deliver the ball. Easy pitch and catch. Usually the defense is going to be in man-to-man. A rub route. Frees up that running back. Easy throw from Wright to Harrington.
Yellow Jackets out of Columbia, South Carolina. Their arch rival is Benedict College right across the street. And for Coach Gibbs, he's got some work cut out for him as his team trails the largest deficit they've had all season. And the up back able to get the ball, Hakeem Ellington. And now an inspired Allen special teams trying to make some plays. And here comes the quarterback for Fort Valley, Kelvin Durham, with 1:35 left. Do we see a 2-minute offense here for the Wildcats, or do they just try to go into the locker room and try to work on what they need to make adjustments on?
No, James, you have 1:35 left in the game. Now, if they had maybe 25 seconds, still you take one shot in that 25 seconds, and if you don't pick up big yards, then you down the ball, kneel, and you take it into the halftime. But right here, you got 1:35 seconds, and this is where you still try to move the ball. You got all of your timeouts.
Gets it to Wilson. He had it in his hands, but eventually dropped it. John Cole makes a good play on the ball.
Again, now, what you're going to see Allen do, now this is where Fort Valley can take advantage. Allen is going to play in a softer defense. They're not going to try to risk too much because right now what their coaches are saying to the secondary, don't give up the big play. So this is where Fort Valley can really make some good calls and nickel and dime and pick up some positive yards and position themselves to score.
Pitch and catch reception is made, enough for the first down, and smartly gets out of bounds. Corinthian Edmonds on the reception.
Again, looks like Allen was in a 3 deep. They had a high safety, single safety, and Fort Valley throwing the ball to the outside. The middle of the field is closed. When you see that safety in the middle of the field, they call that the field. The middle of the field is closed. So the quarterback did the right throw to the outside.
Another pitch and catch reception made. And another spin move. And first time today that we've seen this wide receiver in Jaron Lawson.
Yeah, you see kind of like the no huddle, the hurry up offense here by Fort Valley. Again, you're going to see Allen playing a softer defense, so all the routes underneath should be open for Fort Valley.
Piamenta, the intended receiver, and he gets separated from the football. Good stop there by Kevin Graham.
Yeah, the great thing about that, for Fort Valley, the drop does stop the clock, gives them opportunity to really get a good play in. But if that ball had been caught, he would have picked up great yards, but the clock would have been still running.
Less than a minute to play. Staying with 4 wide receivers. And this time, Allen gets to the quarterback. Another sack. Ja'Cory Foster, and along with Kerry Thompson Jr., that senior out of Helena High School in Birmingham.
Yeah, I think a situation like this, you either got to, if the quarterback going to stay in the pocket, the ball has to come out quick. Or you have to roll him out on the edge and get outside the tackles, and he can throw the ball away, and you don't take a sack.
Senior leadership there by Thompson, able to put Fort Valley on their heels, and Allen's defense has definitely come out to play. Their defense coordinator, a lot of people in HBCUs will know him, L.C. Cole. He was the man that coined the term cold-blooded football.
But that is what Allen is playing right now, and this timeout actually benefits Allen University because their defense gets an opportunity to rest a little bit. Their front four has been doing a great job of getting pressure on Durham and limiting how much Wilson is able to do. So anytime you can allow a defense to rest, it's like a cheetah. Anytime you can allow a cheetah to catch his breath, oh man, you just asking for trouble when it get rested. So hopefully Allen defense doesn't give Fort Valley too much more trouble, but Fort Valley is looking at a 3rd and very long.
46 seconds left, 3rd down and 20. They need to get to the Allen University 36-yard line and make sure they have enough for the first and continue this drive.
A little bit of disguising by Allen's defense right there. You see the linebackers looking like they blitzed and they step out. Does come with a blitz.
Applying the pressure, and they hit him and alter the football. Good play there by Caleb Pierce. Now, Caleb Pierce, number 34 for Allen University, he's a freshman, but he's from right up the road in Warner Robins, Georgia. So this is sort of like a homecoming for him.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like a homecoming. So anytime you're playing in front, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of family here, and you always want to play well. So, again, he came on a little bit of delayed blitz, and usually that delayed blitz always gets that offensive line because they've already decided who they're going to block, how they're going to turn, protect, and right there, Allen came with a little delayed blitz. Now Fort Valley is punting the ball.
Williams on the punt. And it will take one bounce and called dead at the 24. Now, you got 32 seconds left. If you're Allen University, you've got an 11-point lead, and you're Teddy Keaton. Do you say, let's stay aggressive and try to go to the end zone again? Or do you say, okay, we got a lead, let's hold on to it?
Take the knee. Go ahead and take the knee and take the momentum and take it on into the half. I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to do. Just run the ball, hand it off, and run the clock out. Just make sure that Bo Harrington, keeps both arms wrapped around that ball. But I expect them to run the ball and just take the clock on out. But again, Keaton went for it on 4th down on his side of the 50, so anything's possible. And he is doing the impossible throwing.
Right. He can't find anybody. He's going to throw it long. And this time almost intercepted in and out of the hands. It looks like two defenders fighting over the football.
Again, Coach Keaton, I give him all respect. But again, in that situation there, I think you just got to go ahead and take the knee. Again, Fort Valley could have given themselves an opportunity to possibly get that ball back with a possible score. So I'm pretty sure that's one right there that Durham wants to have back.
And they're on the coverage, Latage Wright for Fort Valley. .22 seconds on the clock. And a good run there by Bo Harrington, able to get a first down. They'll have to stop the clock to move the chains. Less than 10 seconds on the clock.
I think you just take the knee, you take the quarterback, or let the clock run on out.
And they're going to let it run out. It looks like David Wright wanted to get one more play off. We have come to halftime here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Fort Valley State and Allen University out of Columbia, South Carolina. They have come in and stung the Cats over and over again with a 21-10 lead. You're watching the SIAC football on ESPN. Wow, incredible. Halftime here at Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Fort Valley State. 21-10 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Their band is performing, but can their team hold on? We'll see. Halftime continues. Stay tuned. Halftime here at Wildcat Stadium at Fort Valley State, 21-10. Allen University trying to plot their way to one of the biggest upsets in the SIAC so far this season. Let's get you up to date on what's going on around the SIAC as far as scores today. Central State went up to West Virginia and lost in a close one, 35-34. Tuskegee taking on Division II power West Alabama. They're all tied up at 3. And it's Albany State. They continue their incredible run as they are one of the top teams not only in the conference but also in Division II, as they have a 42-20 win over Shorter. Clark Atlanta and Lane, they're just underway. Kentucky State with a 3-0 lead over Dayton. And later on today, we'll have Morehouse taking on Howard. That'll be at East Rutherford, New Jersey at Giant Stadium. Valdosta taking on Miles College. Those are your scores and your teams taking place around the SIAC. So far, it's Allen University with a 21-10 lead over undefeated Fort Valley. Stay tuned. Festivities continue here at Fort Valley State University at Wildcat Stadium, but a lot of the fans a little concerned as their team trails Allen University 21-10. James Verrett along with Tyrone Poole. And Tyrone, I think some of the homestanding fans a little bit shocked by the way the defense has been picked apart by Allen.
Yeah, picked apart, but Coach Gibbs said that he was worried about the passing game of Allen University. And Wright and also Horace, the wide receiver, who has 113 yards right now, have not disappointed.
And you look at Allen's defense, they've been very outstanding. As we take a look at some of the highlights, they've been really doing well defensively.
Doing a great job. They actually, Fort Valley comes out, strikes first, touchdown. Allen comes back, nice throw by Wright. Great play by Horace right there. The guy who we just said has 113 yards already. Allen comes back, punches it in. Fort Valley, Durham. Great pass. Yak after the run puts Fort Valley in great field position. They go down to get a field goal, go up 10-7. But you know what? That's not the end of it. Allen comes back. Bo Harrington goes around to the right side of Luz. Gets back, he punches it in, gives Allen the lead. And that quarterback, right to 0, Jones, big play. Comes back, nice touch pass to number 3 right there, Harris, for a touchdown. And right there are the stats.
And this may be the most shocking part of it. -5 yards for Fort Valley. The defense for Allen has stepped up big today.
Yeah, really stepped up big. So, kudos to the defensive coaching staff for Allen University. This -5 yards tells me that they studied Fort Valley offense very well, and it's showing today in the stats and on the scoreboard.
How important is the 44 yards rushing for Allen in order to keep Fort Valley's defense honest?
Well, 44 yards is not really big, but what I look at, James, is that 201, and really what stands out about that 201, 201 yards passing, is David Wright. He is 12 of 17 passing.
Let's take a look at some of the impact players that we talked about during the open, and we see David Wright. He's been able to do well. Gary Barrage, that defensive leader, they've held Fort Valley to only 10 points, and Emmanuel Wilson, -5 yards rushing as a team, and Maddox, that defensive back, they've really been torched for over 200 yards passing.
Yeah, the big thing about it on Fort Valley side, Wilson, I believe sometimes you could play a team prior to the opponent that you're playing, and I think Kentucky State might have shown Allen how to stop Emmanuel Wilson. As far as David Wright, again, we saw him as a freshman last year. He did great, and he's doing even better in his sophomore season at Allen.
And it should be an interesting second half. If you're Fort Valley at this point in your Gibbs, what are you telling your team?
Well, you're telling your team, stick with what we practice on. There's no need to change the game. What they got to do is minimize mental errors, penalties on kickoff coverage, special teams, and they need to find some kind of way to get Emmanuel Wilson going downhill.
And if you're Allen University, you got a 21-10 lead, the most points you've scored really officially all season. How do they keep the momentum going?
Well, Coach Keaton and Allen University, their offense is what his bread and butter is. The surprising thing is their defense. Their defense is playing to the level of the play of their offense, and that's why you see Allen University with the lead 21-10.
21-10 is your score right now. We've had more football coming up next. I know some of the Fort Valley fans want to see their offense surge, and Allen is looking for an upset. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Keep your eyes on the horizon 100% of the time. You are a success story in the making. You are ready to take on the world.
You are ready for this.
You will get there from here. And you can't wait to get started. And as proud supporters of HBCUs around the country, we can't wait to see how far you go.
Yo, new Sprite?
No, same Sprite, new bottle. It's kind of like same floater, new heights.
Same jam, new style points.
Same pregame, new drip.
Same spokes, new person.
Same ice, new tray. That's cold.
New bottle, same refreshing Sprite.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button. Because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
21-10, your halftime score. Allen University on the road at Fort Valley State with the 11-point lead. James Red along with Tyrone Poole. And Tyrone, this is your home stadium, your home university. How good does it feel to come back?
Well, you know, it feels very good, James. I have flashbacks every time when I come back here. You know, ESPN actually came down during my pro day to videotape my workout because they couldn't believe that a young guy from Fort Valley was ranked very high amongst scouts in the NFL. So at that goal line on the south end was where I ran my 40. So it's a lot of memories, man.
How nervous were you to run that 40 because you knew that the rest of your life may have depended on how fast you ran it?
Yeah, and at the time, we had grass here. We had grass, not turf. So on the grass, if anybody want to know what I ran my 40 time in, okay, I'm about to let you know. On grass, I ran a 4.34 on grass.
So if we fast forward to today.
You put me on turf, that's a 4.2, low 4.2. Yes.
Today, can you still run in the fours?
Have you seen my TikTok? Have you seen my Instagram? Go to Tyrone Poole 38.
So when you look at Fort Valley right now defensively, talking specifically to the defensive backs, what do they need to do adjustment-wise to try to corral these Allen University receivers?
Well, what does the defense need to do? First and foremost, the defensive line has to get to the quarterback. The defensive backs are only as good as the defensive line, and the defensive line is only as good as the coverage that the defensive backs can keep Allen University wide receivers covered to allow the D-line to get to Wright, who's having a pretty doggone good day.
So it starts up front. Without it being up front, it's not going to be able to go. Okay?
Starts up front.
All right, we have Coach Gibbs, the Fort Valley coach, with us right now. And let's see if we can talk to him. Coach, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Coach, what did you tell your team at halftime, and what type of adjustments did you want to make?
Well, number one, we got to play better up front. We got -5 yards rushing on offense, and we're giving the quarterback entirely too long to throw the football. So we got to win up front. Defensively, we got to keep guys in front of us. And then offensively, we got to win on first down. Most of the mistakes we've made have been on the first down, and it's putting us behind the chains.
Coach, are you kind of surprised about the negative yardage as far as in the run game?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised. That, running the ball is what we want to do. So for us to have a half where we have minus or negative yards rushing, that's disappointing. So we got to find a way to get some positive yards on the ground.
All right, Coach. Thank you so very much. Good luck to you in the second half.
Okay, thank you.
Words there from Sean Gibbs, first-year head coach for Fort Valley. And Tyrone, he's saying that they got to really get this thing going.
Yeah, and again, Wilson, just like Coach Gibbs said, the offense, Wilson is the heartbeat. And if you don't get him going, then Durham is going to struggle. The offense of Fort Valley is going to struggle. And if the offense struggles, that means they're not staying on the field long enough, and that's going to make the defense struggle, which, again, we're seeing a little bit of that.
How important is it for the defense to try to get the momentum, possibly make a big play, a turnover, an interception, or some type of defensive score?
Well, sometimes it has to happen like that, whether that spark comes from the special teams, maybe a big punt return, maybe a big kickoff return. Somewhere a spark needs to happen, whether a particular side of the ball, special team, defense, offense, or a particular player. Energy can also come from one player on offense or defense.
Well, if you look at the offense, we know that Emmanuel Wilson is going to be the steadying force for this offense. But if you look at Durham, the quarterback, do you try to shy him away from trying to take over the game and try to do everything? Or do you say, okay, let's unleash him and do what we think he can do.
Well, this is where the coaching staff, this is where they say the intangibles, the coaching staff, the intangibles. You got to know your players. Again, the situation is not hopeless. It's not like it's 40-10. It's 21-10. There are 2 scores actually from taking the lead, 2 touchdowns. So anything can happen. And again, I think what Fort Valley has to do is stay with the program, stay with what got you here, Wilson. Get him going, get that offensive line going. And the defense, like you say, create turnovers, better field position. Fort Valley can find themselves back in this game.
And now Allen University, they're sitting pretty good. This is the biggest lead they've had all season. They're trying to get their first official win of the year. You look at their quarterback, do you just tell him, hey, more of the same, or do you try to tweak it at all?
Yeah, again, Allen University, they're not a bad program. Let's not think just because we haven't heard Allen University, they're not prominent like Albany State, Fort Valley State, Clark, Atlanta, Morehouse. Allen University, Coach Keaton has done a great job. So this team is only going to get more dangerous as the program continues to develop. So I continue to think that they're going to continue to do the same thing the second half like they did the first half.
And all of these young guys, as we take a look at Teddy Keaton, as we get ready for a kickoff, he's done a masterful job. A lot of people don't remember. He was the head coach at Stillman before they ended the program, and he had one of the most prolific offenses in all of Division II, and he became the offensive assistant at Miles College, able to win a number of SIAC championships, and then he took over at Allen University. And basically, he had to start with just a helmet and a football, bringing that program in from scratch.
Yeah, those guys practicing in the parking lot, man, I'm like, when they started their program back up, they didn't have everything. But this is what winning, if Coach Keaton keeps this up, winning would bring better facility and better fans filling up those seats at Allen University.
And it looks like we have a whistle from one of the officials right at kickoff. There's a flag.
Game clock operator, please reset the game time to 15 minutes.
Looks like somebody moved the game clock a little bit too early. And wasn't a penalty, so we'll see what happens on this one. Fort Valley won the toss and deferred, so they will receive to start the third quarter. And there'll be a flag for a face mask. And I think the defender pulled it, and now we still got some pushing and shoving going on right there.
Now, I've said it time in and time out. Kickoff return is a side of special teams where you got to hit it and you got to go. If it's a right return, you got to go right return. If it's a left return, left return. If it's a middle return, middle return. You can't go left and then try to go right. You're going to lose your blocking.
During the return, personal foul, face mask, kicking team, 15-yard penalty enforced from the spot of 5. First down.
Yeah, anytime you get that helmet turn, it's going to be, that's going to be called every time. Turn this whole head. With the helmet, grab the face mask.
That penalty will be enforced from the 18-yard line.
So good field position now for Kelvin Durham. You see his first half numbers, not bad. 13-19, 175 yards, a touchdown, a 41-yard strike that set up a touchdown.
But, you know, for a quarterback, it's just like the higher level of professional football. Quarterbacks are known for Super Bowls when you win championships. Here, Durham has good numbers, 13-19, 175. You know, he does have a touchdown. But, again, the more you put that ball in the air, into the end zone, determines whether or not, as a quarterback, you feel like you had a great game. But he's having a pretty positive game so far.
Give it to Wilson on the pitch. And doesn't look like he got to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost 2 or 3. Good job there by the defense for Allen. Justin Eaton and company stepping up big to make the play along with Gary Barrage.
Yeah, we remember last year now, Allen allowed Fort Valley to get off on a streak of points, and Fort Valley ended up putting 56 points up on the board last year.
20 unanswered points in the second half by Fort Valley State, and it was Allen that went scoreless for the entire second half.
Defense, number 45. 5-yard penalty enforced. Previous spot, second down.
Kurt Boone, the sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina, called for that infraction, and the linebackers have been very active today for the Yellow Jackets.
Now, this is where the Yellow Jackets defense, they got to keep the intensity. Just because you're up, you got to play like it's 0-0. That's what they would always tell us. It's 0-0 no matter what the score is.
Wilson breaks the line of scrimmage, and this time he's brought down, but not before he gets maybe a yard short of the first. And now Wilson only had 7 rushes for 8 yards.
And that is the thing, James. 7 touches. 7 touches. Just think, this guy is your go-to guy. He's your bell cow. Your bell cow. And he only has 7 touches in the first half. So, again, they got to get Emmanuel Wilson going. Get him more touches. Feed him.
Wilson again, and he has enough for the first down. Stopped at the 49-yard line, enough to move the chains.
Now, the thing, if you're going to give Wilson the football, again, give it to him going downhill. Get that offensive line pushing. This is where his strength is, going downhill. Now, the only downside is when you run the ball, you're running time off the clock. Now, your defense, Fort Valley defense, has to come out and have to stop Allen's offense to give the ball back to Fort Valley's offense. So if you're going to run the ball, you got to come out and play great defense when Fort Valley defense comes onto the field.
Durham getting some pressure, has a wide open receiver. Catch is made. Great job there by Fort Valley into the end zone for the score. Corinthians Edmonds with the 51-yard touchdown strike. And just like that, Wildcats are back on the board.
And just like that, a big play, great patience by Durham. You see Allen's in man-to-man. Actually, we've seen number 8, Lumpkins, targeted on several occasions today. And right there, Fort Valley, number 12, Edmonds, beats him again deep for the touchdown. And just like that, Fort Valley's back in it.
The senior, Corinthians Edmonds, point after attempt is good. And good job by the senior, able to close the gap with a beautiful strike from Durham to Edmonds for the score. 21-17 in favor of Allen. Let's see the Wildcats can continue having the momentum right here on the ESPN. Corinthians Edmonds, the senior, getting his touchdown for Fort Valley to try to close the lead. 11-point lead to start the quarter by Allen, and Edmonds shrinks it down. Great job on the 51-yard touchdown pass. Goes over the head of Jones, and now Jones is going to try to run it basically out of his own end zone. And now the special teams for the Wildcats step up big, and they tackle him inside the 10.
Now, they always say, when it rains, it pours. Not only did Allen defense get beat on a great play by Durham, great throw to Edmonds, but then they come back and actually on special teams mishandle the kickoff, which puts Allen's offense in a very deep end of their field.
You see
like last year.
See the numbers for David Wright, almost perfect. 12 of 17, 201 yards and a touchdown. So starting basically near their own goal line, the Yellow Jackets. Give it to Jones, and Jones runs into one of his own teammates but gets out of bounds at about the 14-yard line, close to a first down. Second down. They're going to call him out of bounds at the 14 to make it second down and 5. Another pitch and catch to the short side of the field. Reception made by Jaden Horace. And this one is only a gain of about a half yard.
No, Jaden Horace, again, he had 36 receptions total last year. 15.6 yards in average. But today, he has put up some phenomenal numbers for Allen University. And he has been the guy that Wright has been going to on a consecutive basis.
Another pitch and catch to Horace, and he has enough for the first down and moves the chains. The short passing game working for the Yellow Jackets.
You know, again, we know that the main guy is Jamal Jones, okay? But when you have another receiver, as in Horace, number 4 right there, when they start keying on Jones, which I'm pretty sure Gibbs want the defense to know where Jones is, the other wide receiver for Allen, where he is, it opens up opportunity for a player like Horace.
Dump pass out to Bo Harrington, who goes out of bounds, but not before he gets 3 yards. Now, before Tyrone Poole made headlines being a first-round draft pick, Fort Valley State did have a long list of players that played in the NFL, and now we're joined by Darryl Holmes, one of those famous members of the Wildcats. Darryl, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
How you doing, Wildcat? I call Darryl Holmes the godfather of defensive backs, man.
He gave me that moniker, but really he's taking that bar that we set a whole lot higher.
Well, D. Holmes, tell us, what are you seeing today? What are you noticing about Fort Valley offensively and definitely defensively, that Blue Death defense? Your interpretation.
Offensively, I thought we got away from Emmanuel Wilson a lot too early. And then I thought on defense that we didn't play with the passion, and we needed to get a pass rush in on this quarterback. They run some really unusual routes because a lot of times they react off of what the cornerback does. They'll run a slant, and if you jump it, then they will definitely turn it up. And if we don't have that pressure, he scrambles a lot and throws the ball deep. So right now, that turnover, that's exactly what a Wildcat defense needed. So hopefully we're going to shut them out and take this game over.
Christian Maddox on the fumble recovery as Wright was trying to get an extra extra yard. It was knocked out of his arms by Chase Fabro, and the recovery there by number 29, Darnell Stevens.
Again, this is what Fort Valley needs. They had the big play on offense with the big strike from Durham to Edmonds. Now they come back to defense, takes the ball away, and now Fort Valley's threatening again. D. Holmes.
Yes, sir.
I got a question for you. You got to give us a quick story. Do we have time for D. Holmes to give us a story about when he played the real Blue Death defense? Give us a story, D. Holmes. What was the real, true Blue Death defense?
I remember this was my first year as a starter at corner, and it was 1984, and we had played Florida A&M down in Florida A&M the year before, and they beat us pretty good. So the next year we came out and we played them, and matter of fact, the first play that I ever defended in college was an out and up, and I was beat. And I just told myself, just turn and run, turn and run. And the receiver started looking for the ball, and he started slowing up, so I batted the ball away, and that gave me a lot of confidence. But the moral of the story is that we went on and won the game, and at the end of the game, while we were on the field celebrating, they turned the sprinkler systems on us, and then they didn't play us for about 15 years after that.
Man, that's that Blue Death defense. It's pretty much the same thing. When I was here, we were known for our defense. Now, you talked to the guys yesterday.
Yes,
what
sir.
did you say to the young Wildcats about the history of Fort Valley? What was your words of inspiration to them?
Well, basically, I told them my story, that when I came here, I was 5'10", about 170 pounds. Wasn't very strong, wasn't very fast, and I kept hearing Coach Porter say, some of you all are fooling yourself. And when you fool yourself, you make a fool. You're the biggest fool in the world. And so I was telling them that I didn't know that he was talking to me, not directly to me, but he was talking to me. And so one game we were getting ready to play, we were playing Baptist University, and we were winning 48-0 at halftime. And so all the players that didn't dress at halftime went in and dressed, and all the varsity came out and sat in the stands. And I put on a uniform, and Coach Porter saw me, and he said, "Well, who told you to dress?" And he said, "No, you're not dressing." So my parents were here, so I left the gym. I was crying, got in the car, told my mom I wanted to transfer. I didn't like this place, and she asked me a question. She said, "Well, what if you go somewhere else and you're not playing? Are you going to quit there?" And she said, "You're just not good enough." And I told each and every one of them that if you're not playing, you're not good enough. So you got to get yourself better.
Very quick NFL story. Very quick NFL story. Your first practice with the New England Patriots, what was it like?
Man, I went to practice, and my roommate was a fourth-round draft pick out of Winston-Salem. So we were from the HBCU lineage. And so we went to practice, man. We had on every pad they could issue because we thought, we getting ready to knock heads. And we get out there, and everybody's in shorts and no pads in the pants and running. And we're taking pads out of pants and everything on the field. So that was a good learning experience for us as well. So, it was really fun. It was, at the time, I was very nervous, but once we got between those white lines, I just did what I did at Fort Valley.
Mr. Holmes, how important is it for the older members of the Wildcat alumni to come back and try to impart some knowledge to these younger players?
It's very important. I was telling Coach Gibbs, I told him that whenever my school calls me, I'm coming. And I want the other Wildcats to feel the same. It's been estranged relationships in the past, but I think Coach Gibbs is trying to bring the older Wildcats back, to talk to the younger Wildcats, to bring the tradition back. Just getting back to playing Wildcat football, where we're getting after you on defense and we're methodically handling the ball and running the ball down your throat on offense and passing over the top when you're trying to stop the run.
All right, Mr. Holmes, we thank you so very much for joining us. And now we know you passed the Godfather torch over to Mr. Tyrone, so we can officially call him older.
That's right. That's right.
D. Holmes always going to be the Godfather.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
Appreciate you, D. Holmes. Duh.
And the da is how the Wildcats greet each
Yes.
other and say farewell to each other.
It's like saying hello. That's like saying hola in Spanish. That's da is hello.
And right now, it is Fort Valley trying to get the lead back. Their defense has been able to hold, but Allen's defense has been playing outstanding also.
And you spell da, D-A-H-H-H. H.
A lot of H's?
A lot of da.
Da. Okay. Da. Okay. Ooh, all right.
It's like that commercial. What's up? What's up?
Now, when did they start saying da?
That's a tradition. That is a tradition. That thing goes probably back as far as my mind could take me, but that's a tradition. All HBCUs have a tradition. And that's our tradition for the football team. That's how we greet one another.
First carry of the day for Robert Nicholson, young man out of Lawrenceburg, North Carolina. Check that, number 20, Jaquan Thompson on the carry.
Well, Allen University defense did a great job of putting out the fire, as we call it. Fort Valley had an opportunity on the turnover. Allen University defense stepped up. Now the offense got the ball, moving down the field, trying to score.
Wright dumps it out to Bo Harrington, and Harrington stretches forward to get the first down and move the chains.
Great route. Basically, offensively, great positioning on this particular play by Allen's receiving corps. Okay, everybody was covered, but the offensive play was drawn up to where Bo Harrington was the drop play, and that's who Wright ended up throwing the ball to. Check down.
Jamal Jones on the reception, and Tyler Moore and company right there to bring him down.
Again, Jamal Jones along with Harris and Harris. You know, we've heard Harris' name called a couple of times. So, you know, this quarterback right here, Wright, has pretty good receivers to throw to. They're sophomores, freshmen, so they're going to be around each other for a lot of years.
Wright trying to make a play, finds a receiver in Montrell White, and White's able to get the reception enough for another first down, able to push him out of bounds is Darnell Stevens for Fort Valley, but they're in Wildcat territory.
And White, he is a freshman, a 5'10" freshman from Sumter, South Carolina. So again, this offense is young for Allen University, and with a head coach like Keaton, who is a brilliant offensive-minded coach, it's dangerous for the future.
And good job by Bo Harrington. He keeps his head down and looks like he has enough for another first down, a good 10-yard gain for Harrington.
Yeah, Bo Harrington, Davenport, Florida. Again, stick that foot into the ground. Great blocking by the offensive lineman. Moves ahead for a first down for Allen University. Got a player down right here.
Bit of concern for Harrington. He limped to the sideline, and looks like right now they're trying to work out a possible cramp in the calf.
Yeah, we said that earlier. You know, this field, you're playing on turf, it adds more temperature, the humidity. So these guys really have to hydrate.
And Thompson acting like a battering ram right there, able to get 8 to 9 yards on that carry.
Another freshman, Rock Hill, South Carolina. So again, this Allen, all of their alum, they should be excited about the future of Allen University football. I'm like, the whole roster is pretty much freshmen and very few juniors on this roster. So Allen University, as long as Coach Keaton is around, they're going to be tough to handle.
Wright trying to play pitch and catch and does successfully again. Finds Jaden Horace, and that's enough to move the chains. And I mean, they're just methodically going down, picking apart this Wildcat defense.
Yeah, even on that play there, it looked like it was going to be a curl and go. If we could check Horace out up there, it was a curl and go, but the defensive back didn't fall for it. So Horace basically just stayed with the curl, and Wright was able to find it. Looked like a little curling running play here.
Good run there by Jaquan Thompson. And he's able to get another 3, possibly 4 yards.
Again, Fort Valley defense. In this area of the field, they cannot allow Allen University to get a touchdown. A field goal, that's good. You're still a touchdown from tying it up. But if you allow them to score a touchdown, I think it kind of puts a little more pressure on Fort Valley's offense with 3:50 left in the third quarter.
Harrington back in the game, but they give it to Jamal Jones. And you see the speed of Jones. He eludes 2 defenders into the end zone. Touchdown, 25-yard score for Jamal Jones. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, and now that lead expands again for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, again, receiver, screen. If you have the speed, you have the ability right here, boom, a bullet, zip line right there to Jones. Doesn't even look like he's running. But he uses enough burst to get his blockers set up. Speed, quickness gets him into the end zone. They do their little dance, their little, what they do on the side. James, we got to start doing something like that, man. When we get ready to call a game, we got to have our little handshake and
we don't need the pity pat.
No. I got a bobble snap there.
And the kick will be no good. Special teams once again steps up, but Jamal Jones did the damage as the lead expands to 10 points. The air attack for Allen University, the Yellow Jackets keep stinging the Wildcats over and over again, 27-17.
When you're part of something bigger than yourself, it feels like all you ever do is win, win, win. And when that something is an HBCU, you know you can't help but win, win, win. So, as proud supporters of HBCU programs, we just can't lose.
Trophies, awards, medals.
They show your hard work paid off.
In a game of life, there are also trophies.
They look like an organized financial plan to pay for your college, maybe even graduate school.
Buying a house is a trophy.
Starting your own business, that's a championship trophy.
To help students gain the financial savvy to succeed at life, UBS has teamed with EverFi and the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference to create Elevate.
Elevate delivers personalized financial training, access to wellness workshops, and career development programs, all for free and designed exclusively for SIAC communities.
Financial freedom, that's the ultimate trophy. Get started today at ubs.com/elevate.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button, because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
Jamal Jones had a 100-yard kickoff return against Newberry, but today he was able to get a 25-yard 25-yard touchdown reception to expand the lead to 27-17. And the Yellow Jackets a quarter and some change away from having the biggest upset so far this season. And for Sean Gibbs, he's going to be looking for a fourth quarter rally, first of its kind this season for the Wildcats. Return gets out to about the 36-yard line. And now it'll be up to the offense to try to keep this thing going. And Mr. Durham, who's had a tough go of it against this Allen University defense.
Well, you know, Fort Valley has shown that they can strike very quickly. Let's not forget Durham to Edmonds, okay? So I'm worried. If I'm Allen University, I'm worried if they try to go to the pass, because my secondary has not shown that they can hold up against the pass.
And you see the yards, 357 for Allen, only 248 yards so far for Fort Valley.
Yeah, I think Fort Valley can do a little bit better by allowing Durham to get into the passing game a little bit more.
Flare pass out to Wilson, and he just couldn't hold on to it. He had Gary Barrage and company staring him right there in the face, along with Justin Eaton.
Yeah, you know what makes that play really work, that little flare pass, is a touch. Right there, I think Durham might have had a little too much zip on it, and really, I don't think catching is probably one of Wilson's strengths, but that pass came in pretty hot off the press, and Wilson wasn't able to pull it in.
Trying to run the option now is Durham. He keeps it, gets some positive yards, and he's brought down. Some people are going to ask for a horse collar. Kurt Boone there on the tackle, but no flag was thrown. Looks like it was a good tackle on that play.
Yeah, usually that horse collar is going to be where you pull him from the back. He goes backward. A little bit to the side action might have helped save that penalty from being thrown. Might have saved Boone right there.
First down, ball now at the 49-yard line of the Wildcats. Give to Wilson, and he's getting beyond midfield into Yellow Jacket territory down at the 49.5.
Now, again, the situation that I see in this for Fort Valley, if they're going to get Wilson into the game, they're going to run the ball. And anytime you run the ball, you know, with the check with me offense, the clock is still running. And when you run the ball, you're running time out the clock. Fort Valley has to make sure they put the ball in the end zone. Cannot get no field goals if you're going to rely on the running game. You got to get 6 points, touchdowns.
Durham getting some pressure. Wow, finds a receiver and able to keep it going all the way to the house. Touchdown, Wildcats. Touchdown, Fraylin Warren. And there's that young man again, Warren, with his touchdown to start the second half. And he has just been on fire first half and second half.
Well, actually on that play, Durham had his choice. He had his choice, but he chose to throw it to Warren right there. Warren, yards after the catch for the touchdown. But Edmonds, he was wide open too, and probably could have had an easy score. But again, both wide receivers were wide open, and Warren was able to take it in. So regardless, Fort Valley is back into it, back in the game.
And the kick is no good. Now they're trying to figure out if it's good or if it's no good, if it was recovered in the end zone. They're trying to discuss it. The officials are trying to discuss it. Special teams is trying to get credit for 2 points. But if it was a kick and the ball was deflected, then I don't believe it can be a 2-pointer. Let's see. And the kick is no good. And Fraylin Warren Jr. definitely making a name for himself today. The young freshman playing big.
Yeah, Warren Jr., we've called his name several times today. Again, just like Wright has some receivers he can throw to, with Durham has receivers that he can throw to. And we see right there, Edmond was wide open, but Warren came across the field wide open, yards after the catch. Either way, Fort Valley scores. We see, again, Durham rolls over. The play was to go to Warren. Scores.
And looks like Mr. Warren has the big hammer.
Yeah, you see that sludge hammer. You know, Coach Gibbs is bringing a lot of excitement. And whenever you score, every team does something to show that particular player being the top dog on that play. And right there with the sludge hammer, Warren was the top dog, putting in work, driving in that spike. Kind of reminds me when you're working on the train, you know, that when they put down the rails, you actually got to drive that spike into the ground. So right there, I think Warren was driving that spike into the ground, saying he scored a touchdown.
Jamal Jones on the return. He's dangerous. He gets beyond the 20-yard line, and there are 2 flags thrown, and that may go back and make a long field for the Yellow Jackets, and the Wildcats are fired up.
You know, that's one thing that we've seen that I don't like as far as the special teams. Both kickoff return teams have been tagged with penalties. And that puts, of course, we know it's going to be half the distance. So you put in your offense in more of a negative situation.
Holding, return team, number 23. 10-yard penalty and force from the spot of the 5. First down, Allen.
But we've seen that neither secondary can really control the opponent's offensive receivers. So just like Fort Valley scored on the big play, Wright, Harris, James, Jones, let's see if they can repeat what they did last time when they were on the field.
Right, trying to keep it alive, and the intended receiver just goes down to the ground. Pass intended for Shamar Nelson.
Yeah, I think if he had not tripped, as they say on the turf monster, he would have had a pickup of a first down for Allen. Again, good vision by Wright, navigating, looking for the open wide receiver.
2nd and 10. Give to Harrington, and he is quickly wrapped up and brought to the ground.
Again, this is where Coach Keaton said that they have to be able to run the ball because they don't want to rely totally on the pass, because you don't give your defense an opportunity to rest if you go 3 and out by passing the ball. So running allows defense to rest, and really the offensive lineman like when you run the ball.
3rd and 10. Getting pressure on the backside. He gets it off in time, and wow, just overthrows his intended receiver on the outreach hands of Jamal Jones. And I mean, he just gave it all he had. But we do have a flag all the way back.
Roughing the pass. Defense, number 43. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
And what did Denny Green used to always say? We had him right where we wanted him, and we just what? Let him go.
Let him go. Again, you know, I appreciate the aggressiveness. And sometimes it's tough as a defensive player. You know, it's tough to be going full speed, and it's just tough. But sometimes you have to be aware and understand that the game is to protect the quarterback. And you have to do everything you can to try to stay off of that quarterback.
New life for the Yellow Jackets. And the pitch and catch doesn't go anywhere fast, but able to get some positive yards is Allen University over to Armand Harris.
Yeah, but did you see that tackle by Wright, number 21? That was an excellent, when you say break and catch and tackle to catch, that is exactly what 21 Wright did right there. That's a perfect play by that young man right there. Recognition and coming up tackling.
Harris again, and now he gets enough for the first down. Wright goes right back to him.
Again, Wright, good, quick release, gives receiver an opportunity to catch the ball and run in traffic. And again, Harris, along with Jones, and just great receiving core for this Allen University football team.
Trying to go with a touch pass. Wow, the ball was tipped and knocked out of bounds. Good play there defensively by Latage Wright.
Yeah, now Wright is going to have to be careful. And right there, it's like he's just throwing the ball up. Again, I understand you believe in your receivers, you believe in yourself, but at some point, if it's not there, just throw the ball away. But hey, when you're a gunslinger, like Mr. Wright is, he believes that he can make anything happen, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Should be the last play of the quarter. He throws it, gets it away, almost was sacked. But he turns a negative into at least a gain of 1. That ends the third quarter, and Allen University 1 quarter away from getting their first victory of the year. But it is Fort Valley who's trying to make a comeback here, and they'll start in the fourth quarter as they trail 27-23. You're watching SIAC football on ESPN. It's go time for Fort Valley State right before the start of the fourth quarter. They're getting themselves hyped up. You see the championship belt, and you see the Wildcat. How do you greet them, Tyrone? Right now, their defense has to try to stop the offense of Allen, and right now, good stop there by the Blue Death defense to bring up a fourth down situation, and it'll be punting formation for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, you know, this is the first time this season. We talked about a lot of first times for Fort Valley and Coach Gibbs going into this game. It was going to be the first time going 3-0, starting 3-0 in several years. And also, this is the first time this season that Fort Valley has gone into the fourth quarter behind. So it's going to be very interesting to see what type of adjustments Coach Gibbs makes.
And you see Coach Keaton, he's trying to get win number 1 on the season. Hakeem Ellington back deep for the Wildcats. He's going to try to return it inside his own 20. Trying to find some room. He gets out to about the 24-yard line before he's brought down. And you've got a lot of talking and some hard play going between these two teams. Remember, Allen is a team that, 5 or 6 years ago, there was no football. And now they're trying to compete against a team that has well over 75 years of football history in Fort Valley State.
Yeah, and compete is what they're going to have to do in this fourth quarter. If I'm Allen University, if I'm the defensive coordinator, I don't know what to call. Like if I try to put my defensive backs in man-to-man coverage, they're not coming up making plays. So it kind of puts a stress on the defensive lineman and the defense and the secondary as a whole.
Wilson on the carry, gets to the outside and powers his way forward for a first down.
So what happens when you cannot play man-to-man defense, which allows you to blitz and cover up those gaps? Well, you have to play zone. Now, this is what Wilson likes. Now he's able to pick those holes, and he's able to pick up positive yards, and that was probably his biggest run of the day.
Out to the 34-yard line on the Wildcats.
What I'm beginning to see in Allen's defense, they're beginning to be stagnated. Before, earlier in the game, they were moving around, disguising. Now they're just static.
Going with the option, he eludes one defender who shot at him, and wow, good big hit there by Reginald Jones to knock him out of bounds, but Emmanuel Wilson gets very close to another first down on the option play.
Again, give it to your bell cow. Quick pitch right there. Eludes the first tackler from Allen University, switches hands with the ball, lowers the shoulder, finishes it off. Even though that was a good tackle by Jones, defensive back, 6-foot sophomore from Charleston, South Carolina.
At the 44-yard line of the Wildcats, Fort Valley gets it to Edmonds. Edmonds run after the catch into Yellow Jacket territory down at the 26-yard line. Great play there by Corinthians Edmonds.
Well, I tell you what, if you are Allen University alumni, coaches, players from last year when Fort Valley played Allen, are you saying to yourself, deja vu? Are you saying, here we go again? Again, Fort Valley is reeling off points, and Allen University is not answering.
We'll take a timeout. There's timeout on the field, but it is the Wildcats who are driving as they trail 27-23. Down by as many as 11 points. Fort Valley has climbed back and now the only trail by 4. James Red along with Tyrone Poole, and fourth quarter we go for the Wildcats of Fort Valley State, trying to remain undefeated. Standing in their way is an Allen University team looking for their first win of the season. Durham looking to throw, goes for the end zone. In and out of the hands of Piamenta. Cordell Piamenta had it in his hands and it just fell out.
Yeah, great play, great hustle by Allen University defensive back number 29.
Reginald Jones, yes.
Nice play. Nice hustle play. And that's what happens when you don't give up on the play. Don't give up on the play. So all the young defensive backs in high school, middle school, that was a great teaching moment by Jones, number 29 for Allen University. Don't give up on the play. Play the hands once the ball gets there.
Option again, given to Wilson, coming up, trying to make a big play. A lot of white shirts right there. Tackle for a loss by Allen University, and stepping up big, Ja'Cory Foster, big number 56, playing well for the Yellow Jackets.
But you know who created that play? Our guy again, Reginald Jones. So, Reginald Jones, not only does he defend plays, watch him shoot up. That's how you come up. Watch him. That's how you set the edge. That is what caused Wilson to stop his feet and allow the Allen University defense to get him in the backfield.
So even if you miss the tackle, you've moved the momentum inside back towards the rest of your defense.
Set the edge. It's just like setting a wall. That's why they call it setting the wall. Just like the sideline is a wall, you can only run so far to the sideline before you got to turn it up.
Durham, that was just a little bit too high for his intended receiver, Fraylin Warren Jr.
And those two big plays by Jones of Allen University has given Allen University an opportunity to put Fort Valley in a fourth and very long situation. It's going to be interesting to see what type of play Coach Gibbs calls here for the Fort Valley offense. If I'm Allen University, I'll sit back and protect the sticks. Make sure I have somebody deep. No balls get behind you, but protect the sticks.
They have not converted on fourth down so far today, and it continues as they go 0 for 2 in fourth down conversions, as that pass was incomplete, intended for Piamenta.
So if you're Allen University, or if you are anybody watching Fort Valley State now going forward, every football is a copycat league. Whatever somebody has success with, your opponent next week is going to try to do the same thing, because this game film gets circulated around. So if I'm Coach Gibbs, I'm going to look at this film and I'm going to ask, is there something that we're doing that other teams going to pick up on?
Bo Harrington on the carry. He gets to the line of scrimmage and not much more. Caleb Thomas and company right there to make the stop, along with big number 95, Cam Rutledge. And they've got Cam they have him listed as 6'1", 230. And I know that's more than 230.
Yeah, that's more than 230 right there. That's they say 325.
Oh, they say 325 on the roster.
Yes,
okay.
325.
Well, I'll give him 325.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. He may be a few burgers away from 325.
But you got to have on nose tackles like that. Those guys got to be big and stout.
Catch made, reception by Harrington.
Those tackles are the guys that whenever you go against a team that loves to run the A gap, which is between the center and the guard, you need those big guys like Rutledge and 325s. Just tell them, you don't have to do anything special. Just fall in that gap and just take up 2 of those offensive linemen.
3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Important down here for Allen.
Right with time. And he can't find a receiver. Incomplete. It'll be a punting situation again. And the Blue Def defense stands strong again here in the 4th quarter.
Now, what I'm beginning to see from Wright, the quarterback, when he doesn't settle his feet, his accuracy kind of goes down tremendously. So if I'm Allen University, I got to get him back to where he's upright, feet up under him, and being able to deliver great throws. So if I'm Fort Valley defense, I want to keep him off balance. So Coach Keaton right there, I'm pretty sure, you get them coaches start pacing up and down that sideline. It's a lot happening in their mind, James, while they're going up and down that field.
Allen will call a timeout. We'll take one with them. They still trying to hold on to the lead. 10 minutes left in the game. And give you quick updates. Bluefield State defeated Central State, and Tuskegee, West Alabama all tied up. Albany State winners, and all the rest of the teams are getting underway or will be starting soon. Dayton defeating Kentucky State in the 2nd quarter 7-3. Let's get you up to date with all of the SIAC scoring. Our game right now, 27-23 in favor of Allen. They will be punting to the home-standing Wildcats. Almost got it blocked. It may have been tipped. It's a sky kick, but it will take an Allen University bounce, and it will go dead, called dead at the 34-yard line.
Wow. That's all I can say about that punt right there. It almost got blocked again. The momentum is too slow from the punter. Fort Valley almost got there. Did not rough the kicker. They did a great job. Fort Valley special team did a great job staying away from the kicker. But wow, did it ever take a positive role for Allen University?
Yes, it did.
I thought that ball was going to go backward against them. But hey, he got it punted in the right direction where the roll, when it hit the ground, it rolled in their favor, which is Allen's favor. So Fort Valley starts the ball on the 34. Trying to score, take the lead.
Inside run. And this time, Troy Dindy on the carry. And Dindy gains about 3 yards on that rush.
Yeah, Dindy is a 5'10", 195 junior for Lawrence, South Carolina. So he comes in to give Wilson a spell at running back.
Durham flips it out, finds Dindy again, and he has enough for the first down off the reception. They'll move the chains ball now at the 47-yard line of Fort Valley State.
Yeah, great job by Durham here. Looks to the right. Nobody's there. Nobody to the left or the right. Let me check it down to Dindy. Pick up positive yards. Actually gets a first down for Fort Valley. So great hands by that young man Dindy there. Gives Fort Valley a first down. And now they got Wilson back in the game. Dindy has done his job. Waiting for his next opportunity.
Emmanuel Wilson on the carry beyond midfield, gets down inside the 40 to the 39. Another 15-yard scamper for Emmanuel Wilson.
Again, he's a straight downhill runner. This is Wilson's game. Let the offensive lineman open up the gaps and just let him go downhill.
Wilson again. Coach Gibbs said that he's one of the most humble guys that he has ever coached. And the interesting part about it was the previous head coach went back to his alma mater, Johnson C. Smith. That's where Wilson transferred from. And there was a thought that he may transfer again, but Coach Gibbs said I had to go out and re-recruit him. And he was able to stay loyal to Fort Valley and stay. And since then, obviously, averaging 167 yards a game, it's proven to be the right choice. Wilson again on the carry. He gets beyond the 30, knocked out of bounds right at about the 30-yard line, but not before he can move the chains again. Emmanuel Wilson finally starting to get his rhythm, Tyrone.
Yeah, like you said earlier, just alluded to, Coach Gibbs knew that he had to keep Wilson here at Fort Valley. If Coach Gibbs was going to have any opportunity this year, Wilson was going to be the guy that he needed to recruit to stay here and help his new offense out. So as we see how important Wilson is.
Durham looking for some room to run, and he just quickly goes out of bounds. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but they say no, he was about a half-yard short.
Well, again, Durham, we saw a lot of good throws from him today, and we've seen him be able to look off the first, second, third reads, and then we've seen him use his legs as well. So Durham has had a pretty positive game today. And Coach Keaton, you can just imagine what's going through his mind right now. A repeat of last year.
They definitely don't want a repeat of that. Durham with the pitch and catch. Reception made by Corinthians Edmonds. And that is enough for another first down. He gets it down to the Yellow Jacket 20-yard line.
Again, fake the ball to Wilson. He's going to draw a crowd. Throw it to the outside. Edmonds, he's had a great game today as well. Edmonds has had a lot of great plays. For Coach Gibbs right there. Coach Gibbs, again, has done a great job with this Fort Valley State program. And look to only do better as years come and years go.
Wilson gets to the line of scrimmage and may have gained 1, possibly 2 yards. The defense right now for Allen University, they're basically playing that bend but don't break defense.
Yeah, you know, the guys are tired as well. The guys are tired. You start seeing guys put their hands on the hips of D linemen. You know, you start to see them kind of slowly getting into their stance. It's hot out there on that turf. So those guys have been on the field a pretty long drive. You remember, Fort Valley started this drive way back on the other side of the field. And they have methodically, as we use that word, driven the ball down the field. So, yes, this Allen defense is tired.
Second down, get it to Edmonds. And Edmonds is pushed out of bounds, but not before he gets enough for another first down. And it'll be 1st and goal again for the Wildcats. They can score and take the lead with 5 minutes left to play. Good play there by Edmonds.
It's another pitch and catch, really no pressure from Allen University. The guys, the defense, again, been on the field a lot, but this is where somebody on Allen's defense has to step up and take control and get a little bit of fire going amongst this defense to stop Fort Valley.
Wilson this time, he is caught immediately. Good stop there by the defensive back, Justin Eaton, coming up out of that safety position to make a play.
Now, this is how tired you know the defense is. Eaton made a great play right there. And the only person that came up and gave Eaton way to go was number 35, Roosevelt Joseph. So that lets you know how tired that defense is for Allen University. But great play by Eaton.
2nd and goal from the 14. And this time Durham's going to keep it, throw it out to his tight end, and he finds Gentry Sparks. And Sparks is able to get some yards, keep the clock moving, and brings up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, we haven't heard Sparks' name called since the early part of the game, but when you have a tight end like Sparks, you always got to be aware of where he is.
4:05, timeout called on the field. Can Allen hold on? We'll see. Stay tuned. This is the biggest test that Fort Valley's team has faced all year under first-year head coach Sean Gibbs. And if you look at 3rd down conversions, both teams have not been very good at it. Allen a little bit better at 2 and 8. Fort Valley 3 of 9. But right now, this will be basically the biggest 3rd down conversion of the game so far, as it's 3rd and goal, ball inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I think if you're Fort Valley, if you don't convert this 3rd down, you kick the field goal possibly and come back and play great defense.
Durham has a lot of room to run. 10-5 touchdown. Fort Valley touchdown. Kelvin Durham with the 10-yard scamper into the end zone. But we do have a flag.
I think it's after. It's after the touchdown. Great play.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. Number 3, 15-yard penalty enforced on the kick.
Yeah, point being,
Kickoff.
Fort Valley scored. Using that young man's legs. Quarterback keeper, everybody going straight to Wilson. See, that's how important. When you have a dominant player like Wilson, he actually sets up this easy touchdown for Durham on the quarterback keeper.
Oh, he spins the football. He spins the football. And the point after attempt is no good. So now Allen is still within a field goal of tying it up or taking the lead. 3:58 left in regulation. The Wildcats under Durham, they do what they have to do to get the lead. First time since the first quarter. Quarterback Kelvin Durham, it's sort of like yin and yang, the good, the bad, because he did score the touchdown, but he was also called for the penalty that'll put the special teams at a disadvantage on this kickoff. 3:58 to go in regulation. Fort Valley climbs back in. They claw their way back to the lead. First time they've had the lead since early in the second quarter. It's been all Allen since then, but now it'll be up to the Blue Death defense, affectionately known here at Fort Valley, to try to shut down the Yellow Jackets offense. Good return here, keeping his feet. Good job there by Shamar Nelson to give Allen some pretty good field position. And here comes the young man, David Wright III, the Tampa native, just a sophomore, And he is close to over 300 yards passing. He's right at 295 so far in this game. But I don't think he's worried about the yards as he's more important about the points on the board.
I tell you what, this is going to be Allen's last possession if they do not get any points on this drive, because Fort Valley's going to come back on offense and you're going to see a whole lot of Wilson.
Trying the reverse, get it to Jamal Jones, and good job staying at home is Latage Wright able to make the tackle.
Yeah, right. He's shown up on a lot of good plays for that Fort Valley State defense. And again, he does it with a great open field tackle here. Comes up, tackles the inside leg, drives down the receiver. Great play by Wright.
And Wright's on the sideline. Looks like he got the cobwebs knocked out of him. David Wright, this time he goes down. Big play by Adion Farmer, just a freshman. And that freshman gets a sack. Along there is Caleb Thomas.
Yeah, again, half little rollout, closes off half of the field. Great pursuit by Fort Valley State defense, and big number 99 right there, Caleb Thomas, 6'1", 280 from Warner Robins. Seals the deal. Got a Wildcat down on the field.
And that looks like to be Cam Rutledge. Yes. And between Cam and Caleb, that is 300 pounds plus of fun.
I call them earth movers. Earth movers, man. That's like those big trucks that they take and they move earth. And this guy is an earth mover for that defensive line for Fort Valley State.
So if you're thinking about this game and you're Fort Valley at this point, how do you close the door and put a button on this one and shut down an Allen offense that has really just been picking you apart?
I don't think Allen's offense has been picking Fort Valley apart lately.
Okay.
So Fort Valley continues to do what they're doing. And they're done a great job of adjusting to Allen University's offense. So Fort Valley defense just need to continue to play with the high intensity like they're doing now.
Defense in the second half has just been playing outstanding. Good play here by Wright. And then you see David Wright. He just can't find anything. And the young man Farmer able to make a play. Now here comes David Wright trying to find somebody downfield, makes a throw and throws into traffic, incomplete. Good coverage there by the Blue Death defense.
Again, the defense, they pinned their ears back, and whatever talk, when they all came up together on that sideline, it has worked. And Fort Valley defense is playing totally different than the way they played in the first half. So, again, Fort Valley continues to play as they're playing. If Allen does not convert this first down, the game is over, because Fort Valley is going to give them a steady dose of Mr. Wilson on offense.
Now, Allen just called their final timeout, 2:50 left on the clock. It'll be 4th down and 13 from their own 34. Now, we've seen them convert, and as we look at the stats, they are 2 for 2 in 4th down conversion efficiency. So if you're Teddy Keaton, you feel pretty comfortable and confident that your team can convert. Now, he's been looking for the long ball. Does he try to go short on this one, Tyrone?
Again, what's the down and distance? It's 4th and 13. 4th and 13. You can't go short on here. If anything, you're going to see deep routes, which, again, is going to make the offensive blocking scheme a little bit different. And Fort Valley may take a chance, and I wouldn't doubt if Fort Valley sends a blitz. Don't give the quarterback time to set up. This is a good opportunity if you got a zone blitz. If you can dial up a zone blitz, still stay in zone, cover the field, but bring a little bit of pressure. Because 4th and 14, it's going to take time for those routes and those receivers to get into those deep routes.
Here we go. Harris in motion. And looks like clock was stopped, and there was a flag on the play.
False start. Offense, number 4.
That makes it
5-yard
even
penalty.
tough.
Remains 4th down.
So rather than 4th and 13, it'll be fourth down and 18 yards to go.
So if you're Fort Valley, what defense do you sit back in? Again, I think you got to put a little bit of pressure. If you could dial up a zone blitz, that would be ideal. So you don't just allow the quarterback to sit back there, because as long as he sits back there with no pressure, somebody's going to come open, because a defense you can only cover for a certain amount of time. So
And
you
you
don't
see
want to give him
Coach
time to
Gibbs
throw the
and
ball.
Coach Keaton. This has been a chess match between these two.
Coach Keaton's a great coach. Coach Gibbs a great coach. But the players played on the field.
Here we go, 4th down. Great pass. Almost had it in and out of the hands of Jaden Horace, but the defense steps up big, and Christian Maddox and company make a play when they have to, and Jamal Janvier also there on the coverage.
Yeah, again, if you're Allen University, you got to go back and you got to say defensively, we did not do enough. Offensively, we did not do enough. Pretty good throw right there, a skinny post. Almost had it, but great break by Fort Valley safety. Actually, the defensive back makes a great play right there. Jamal makes a great play on that attempted post route. So, again, if you're Allen University, you got to go back. You got to ask yourself, again, deja vu. We did not match the points in the second half as we did the first half.
Wilson on the carry, close to a 1st down. He gets inside the 25 down to about the 23.
So, like I said, they're going to get a steady dose of Wilson. So, pretty much, I expect Fort Valley to drain this clock with that guy right there, number 1. And really, they probably converted into a touchdown, because somewhere Allen defense is trying to gamble now. They're trying to make a play any kind of way they can. And when you tend to be in that predicament where you got to make a play, people tend to get out of their gaps, and that's when big plays happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if Fort Valley scored on this drive.
Wilson again on the run, and he is close to a 1st down, maybe about a half yard short as the clock continues to run. And it appears that halftime adjustments help Fort Valley. They flipped the switch offensively. They were -5 yards rushing. Now they're getting close to 100 yards rushing. That's a huge turnaround.
They just run your guy right there, Wilson. That's who got you here. That's who you got to stay with. Again, if I'm Allen University, I am trying to strip the ball, take the ball out, be an optimistic defense right now. You got to create some type of turnover. If you don't, you're going to get a steady dose of number 1.
Wilson again, and he has enough for the 1st down inside the 20, which will move the chains and continue to have the clock to roll. Emmanuel Wilson.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it right there, James. A steady dose of number 1. Hand clap. And Coach Gibbs goes on to 3-0 and undefeated at home. And he continues his great tenure here at Fort Valley State. So Bluefield, I believe, is the next team that the Wildcats have, and they beat Central State today. So I'm pretty sure Coach Gibbs is going to enjoy this victory and look forward to Bluefield next week.
Victory formation, and Kelvin Durham